clinic. Mark Inc. helps the intellectual and developmentally disabled. President and CEO Ken Zingler says convenience is key in getting a shot.
It's quick. You're in and out within 5 minutes, which is great because I know when I used to get my flu shot before we did this, it took me an hour or two to take time off from work or from family time, and I had to spend an afternoon to go somewhere to get the shot and it just rearranged. This, you drive through, you're in and you're out.
And that audio from WFSB. WTIC News Time 3:04. Checking traffic. We have one incident on the board up here in the Hartford area. It is 84 eastbound between exits 48 and 49. Right lane closed due to a crash involving a truck. We have some leftover road work in Tolland on 84 east between 68 and the Mass line. Right and center lanes there. Colchester, work continues on Route 2 west between 21 and 18. And in East Windsor, 91 southbound between 44 and 42. Right lane will be closed for another half hour. And northbound on 91 in Windsor Locks between 42 and 44. That's a right lane project as well. Here's meteorologist Jason Caterina with the WTIC Weather Center forecast.
Well, the rest of our Wednesday afternoon, plenty of clouds around, but pleasant temps with a high of 70. Tonight, it'll become partly cloudy. It'll be mild but comfortable with a low down to 53. A beautiful day for Thursday, partly sunny, warm, a light breeze out of the south-southwest, the high of 75. Then as we head overnight, it'll be partly cloudy. Areas of late night fog forming Thursday night with the low down to 53. That leads to areas of fog Friday morning. Otherwise, a partly sunny and gorgeous day to round out the week with a light breeze out of the south, a high of 76. Saturday, some clouds, then sunshine. Another pleasant day with the high of 75. A gorgeous literally fall weekend with sunny skies on Sunday. Comfortable temps, that high of 70. Cloudy much of the time on Monday as we head back to work and school. We'll have some showers around, the high of 70, and mostly sunny and much cooler Tuesday with the high only 62. I'm meteorologist Jason Caterina in the WTIC Weather Center.
All right, 67, partly cloudy right now in Hartford. Markets are back up this Wednesday. The Dow's ahead 69, the NASDAQ is up 33, and the S&P is ahead 3 points. For these stories and more, go to WTIC.com. It's 3:06. I'm John Silva, WTIC 1080 News.
Brian Shackman here for Brian & Company at WTIC News Talk 1080. Another massive show on Thursday. We're going to highlight some of the weekend's best fares. That's going to be great. Mike Cavanaugh, coach of UConn hockey, will come on. Yeah, hockey season starts this weekend for college. It's pretty unbelievable. Also, we'll talk with Sandy Terenzi and Mike Price about the real estate market. And don't forget, on Friday, we're darting across Connecticut again in Suffield. So if you're in that area, Cafe Barista is where we'll be from 5:30 to 9 on Friday. Join us Thursday, though, 5:30 to 9 right here on WTIC News Talk 1080.
Hi, Joel Johnson here with Johnson Brunetti. Hey, retirement income. Are you sure that you're maximizing your retirement income? Get the retirement income checklist from us, absolutely free. Text the word checklist to 1-800-705-1232. Again, call or text the word checklist to 1-800-705-1232. A checklist to maximize your retirement income.
Investment advisory services offered through JB Capital, LLC, a registered investment advisor. Insurance products offered through JN Financial, LLC.
Are you a proud Connecticut business owner? We are too, with more than 45 years of experience handling business transactions for small and mid-sized businesses. And we know that not every business relationship works out as planned. If you find yourself in a dispute, call the law firm of Brown, Painderis, and Scott. Our team of business lawyers have over 100 years of combined experience. At BPS Lawyers, you get more than a lawyer. You get a law firm. Visit us at bpslawyers.com. Nick Painderis is responsible for the content of this ad.
I'm an elder law attorney.
1 minute.
Our greatest reward is happy
us up.
clients telling us that they're very thankful for our help.
Hi, I'm Kate from Farmington. When I called Alaire Elder Law, I didn't know exactly what I was looking for, but I knew I needed help. Alaire Elder Law helped me find my way. My husband had a stroke a year ago, and we worked hard to bring him home. I worried about what would happen if either of us had another medical emergency. Alaire Elder Law worked with us to develop a plan that will keep my husband safe at home while protecting our assets. What surprised me most was that I didn't just work with a lawyer. I worked with a wonderful team of people. Charlotte helped me rewrite my will to protect my husband. Amanda helped me gather materials and navigate the Medicaid application. Heather came to our home to meet us, understand our needs, and us with a healthcare agency. I'm grateful for the team at Alaire Elder Law.
Find out more at AllaireElderLaw.com. That's ALLAIRE.
This is Reese on the Radio, filling in for Todd Feinberg on WTIC News Talk 1080.
All I said on this was I got there that summer and misspoke on this. So I will just, that's what I've said. So I was in Hong Kong and China during the democracy protests, went in. And from that, I learned a lot of what needed to be in governance.
What you just said is one of the most insanely idiotic things I have ever heard. At no point in your rambling, incoherent response were you even close to anything that could be considered a rational thought. Everyone in this room is now dumber for having listened to it. I award you no points, and may God have mercy on your soul.
Yeah! May God have mercy on all of our souls if that guy becomes the vice president of the United States. It's Reese on the Radio on NewsTalk 1080 WTIC. This October the 2nd, 2024. Telephone number 860-522-WTIC. If you are driving through the state and you've never listened to the station, just, going through the seek button. You go, hey, who's that weird guy? Stick around. More news and more views than you can shake a stick at right here on the program. Always remember, go to ReeseOnTheRadio.com. That's ReeseOnTheRadio.com. If you like me. We've got T-shirts. We got content. We'll talk about the stupidest thing that I've read today. And this one is a doozy. This one's a doozy. Coming up at 4:05. Stand by for that. And, of course, the 5 o'clock focus later on. And you can call us up, like I said, 860-522-WTIC. Let's just get to the opening monologue. As many people who are in this medium were talking about, because it was the story of the day, the debate, the vice presidential debate, the only one, last night between Senator J.D. Vance and Governor Tim Walz. Important and entertaining. But I'd like to focus on something else. MAGA. Hear me out. Whatever you took away from the vice presidential debate last night, great. If it moved the needle for you or the undecided or the independents, I don't know. But if it did, great. If this appealed to you in that way, 100%. But MAGA is my focus today. I think a lot of people who are Donald Trump supporters, or at least his mission statement, have asked themselves. In fact, we've talked about it here on this very network where I have hosted, that it is important that we elect someone who can get 8 years in office. Many people refuse to vote for Donald Trump because, in essence, once he is elected, he is a lame duck. And the reason why many people thought of that is because they didn't think about the vice presidential candidate. They felt we didn't have anybody sitting in the wings, on the bench, at least somebody we could consider. Sure, we have some names, Byron Donald. Sure, we have some names, Ted Cruz, Tom Cotton. We've got plenty of guys. We don't know what their aspirations are politically, but we've got some guys. But the important thing is, would they be able to capture MAGA in an appealing and persuasive way? Well, folks, didn't we get that last night? Hear me out. Not that I need to use mainstream media as my barometer, but let's consider it just a little bit. the mainstream media, and one of the things that I hate about this job is that we do more talking about the people who are supposed to be delivering the news than we do the news. So I'm going to embark on it not so much, but it is important because it's their job to criticize everything on the right, no matter who they are. MAGA's just their new enemy today. Soon it'll be all Republicans after Donald Trump is out of office and once he's done with politics. Every Republican will go through the same scrutiny, if not besmirchment, that we see every day. But what J.D. Vance did yesterday, last night, was articulate a very measured, straightforward, direct, and competent, very competent argument for Make America Great Again in the future. The things that I can say about J.D. Vance where I'm not impressed are silly. I read, I'll get into that in a little bit because there's a survey that talks about politicians I read earlier today. I'll get into that later. I'll talk about those things because, again, they're all surface. They're kind of baseless. Not baseless, but they're just surface. But let's all be honest, and I want to hear from you. If indeed J.D. Vance decides to run for office after this term, should Donald Trump win, or, hell, if J.D. Vance were not to win and decided to run in 2028, did he make his case last night as a debater? Did he make his case to those on the right that says, you know what, if I'm Trump, that's the guy I pass the mantle to? I'm not going to lie. I liked Vivek Ramaswamy. A lot of people said that he was a hustler. Okay, but I still like him. I'm sorry. I like him as a press secretary. Maybe people don't like him as a politician. That might be cool, but he is definitely the future of this party. I think he is. I think some people got it wrong. Tom Cotton, future of this party. Without a doubt. Josh Hawley, future of this party. Byron Donalds, the definite future of this party. Byron Donalds is absolutely exquisite at beating down those on the left. You got to watch that thing he did on the Breakfast Club. But J.D. Vance, if indeed we needed an heir apparent last night, he proved it. Because the only thing now, look, I will also admit he ran a freight train over Tim Walz, but Tim Walz was his own undoing. But if you watch J.D. Vance, he didn't have to do the things that we wanted him to do. We wanted him to bash and beat up. We really did want him to bully Tim Walz because we got our own issues with Tim Walz. But did J.D. Vance impress? Of course he did. He even impressed people on the left. They were angry. I mean, Nicole Wallace from MSNBC was screaming with her hands up in the air. Someone should have been screaming the F word. They are afraid of him. He's effective. And gosh, he doesn't have the bombastic personality of a Donald Trump. They knew. The reason why Nicole Wallace was losing her mind last night was because J.D. Vance was effective in delivering his message and not offending. There was a woman that was on a CNN panel last night, a black woman. They had 7 people up there. And I think that one kid who says that he couldn't vote for J.D. Vance because of the January 6th answer, I think that kid's a plant. But there's a black woman sitting right next to him. And she said she got the warm and fuzzies from this debate. She said that they were actually agreeing with one another and found common ground. Imagine that. J.D. Vance was able to deliver that. Imagine a debate that we were expecting haymakers to fly, especially from Tim Walz, just to try to get out of the corner. They ended up agreeing with one another. And at one point, J.D. Vance impressively commented to Tim Walz about his child witnessing a school shooting, saying, "I didn't know that about your child. God bless them. I'm really sorry that that happened to them." It took the fangs out of everything. I can honestly say I didn't think it before. I didn't even see it. I just went, okay, J.D. Vance, he'll probably have a future. And then I started seeing him having the debates, and I was going, well, you know what? He looks good. This guy can actually go out on the stump. He can articulate what the president is trying to do. This guy could be the face of MAGA. He could actually go out there and debate, push back when he gets, plummet. He's done it so often, and he's done it eagerly. He could really articulate the president's position. Almost Vivek Ramaswamy style, which, by the way, I think Vivek's got a little more style. But J.D. Vance, not without his own. I was incredibly impressed, and I can say right here, right now, MAGA is in safe hands. And I can honestly say that if Donald Trump really wants his legacy or this new Republican movement to go forward, he should consider handing it sitting there and nurturing what J.D. Vance brought to the table last night. To the phones we go. 860-522-WTIC. Let's go to Matt in Bristol. How are you, sir?
Hello, Mr. Hopkins. How are you doing?
I'm great, sir. What do you got?
Okay, first of all, let me just say I'm going to pat myself on the back again. Remember I told you a while back, I said, I know the vice presidential debates don't normally mean anything, but this one will be big, and this one will make a difference.
It did.
And you told me I was a nutcase.
I did. Did I say you were a nutcase?
Well, I'm paraphrasing.
Because I said that the vice presidential debate doesn't. But then again, I'm sorry. With all due respect, we didn't know what Tim Walz was going to end up being, okay? So
no, but I knew what J.D. Vance was going to be.
Right,
and I knew he wouldn't just beat him, he would humiliate him. And it's not just that. You got to remember, too, part of the reason that the vice presidential debate is so poignant at this point in history is there's been 2 assassination attempts
Indeed.
against the president. So people now realize, and even if they don't actually realize it in the back of their heads going, wait, the president might actually not serve out the term.
Right.
You know, even if they don't realize that's what they're thinking.
But we do now, right, we do now have to consider it. Would the vice president or would the president be handing over the job to someone with capable hands?
Confident.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And JD, like I said, I think you're saying that too. You said it far earlier than I did. But yes, JD Vance, again, I had nothing against the guy. I wasn't really, the greatest fan of that pick because I knew very little about him other than his book and his movie. But I have to say, with all of the interviews and definitely last night, he clinched it as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah, I have to admit, before the interviews, I was going, Trump, what are you doing? Because I didn't know anything about the guy. But as soon as he started doing interviews, I'm like, oh, Trump might not be the smartest guy, but he knows how to pick. He knows how to take advice and pick people that are smarter than he is.
Yeah.
And that's his greatest asset.
It is. It is. And I think now all of those stories that we heard, a couple of months ago, that Donald Trump was not satisfied with J.D. Vance and he had actually regretted the pick. Now that's all done.
Yeah,
Even what's his name? Scott Jennings brought that up on CNN last night. Thank you, Matt. I appreciate it, man. And good on you. You called it early. Jim is in Willington. How are you doing, Jim?
Yes, sir. Mr. Vance, if he did anything, he was able to communicate on a variety of subjects. I didn't get the impression that it was scripted or it was outside of something he knew about or researched or has been very well aware of, even before Trump picked him as a vice presidential pick.
Jim, wasn't it so evident? And I thought it may have happened by accident. But when the cameras were going from shot to shot, like most of the debate was them these guys on a split screen. But then they would do shot by shot where each individual was there while the other was talking, or a wide shot. The thing that I found that was very evident out of the two is that Tim Walz kept having to write down notes. And it appeared, even if he did, I missed it, but J.D. Vance didn't appear to need any. And that looks good in a debate.
That's my point. He could pull from knowledge that he obviously knew about. He certainly didn't have to be coached over a week's period of time. These are things that he was aware of.
Yeah.
Topics he was aware of.
Right off the
Even
top of the
before now.
dome. And I think that's
I'm not
because, Jim, I think that's because he's done so many interviews on the topics of the debate in the first place.
Yes. I don't disagree with any of that. But what I'm basically saying is, I believe he has the intellect to go across a variety of subjects.
Mm-hmm.
And the fact that Trump picked him, in my view, right now, was strong to push exactly what you said, which is the policies of Donald Trump.
Yep.
I'm going to tell you, I'm not a big fan of Donald Trump as a personality.
Right.
But if I vote personality, then I couldn't have voted for a Clinton or Obama or a bunch of people.
Right.
Based on personality. I look at it as politics and as policy.
Right.
And at the end of the day, Vance is a guy who I believe he's going to expand on it. He'll improve it.
Yeah, I think he will. I think.
And just to end it, I'll say this: there's cracks in the wall of the mainstream media across the board on this woke progressive BS.
Oh yeah. Oh, but listen, they could not combat a guy like J.D. Vance, and I think that's what all the panic was last night by all of these so-called pundits. Thank you, Jim.
Well,
let me get to Tony real quick. Tony's in Southington. Tony, how are you, sir?
Hey, how's it going, buddy?
I'm so great. How are you?
Good, man. Good. Yeah, I want to say, two other candidates that I like is Marjorie Taylor Greene and Lauren Boebert to carry out the MAGA future.
Both of those women,
candidates.
both of those women, Tony, both of those women are great conservatives, but I'll be honest with you, they are Molotov cocktails, the both of them. I mean, they are volatile as they get.
And possible ready to explode, right?
Yes, exactly. But I like that, though.
Right.
I don't know. I like
Fair
that,
enough.
but I just, like I said, J.D. Vance, what he did last night, his objective, and I think it was the objective of the campaign, was to make MAGA appealing to the undecided, to average folks, right? To not be the Trump bombastic. It was to show a very moderate view. And I think Vance pulled it off. I think that he sort of brought the temperature down in the room so that even if you opposed him or you didn't agree with him, you listened to him because he came to you with a warm hand. Like he came up to you with a warm cookie and said, I'd like to talk to you about MAGA. It was a very inviting introduction.
Yes, you're exactly right. You hit the nail on the head there. But two other things about Tim Walz. I thought that, J.D. Vance could have, nailed him with some more,
he could have
truthful sarcasm. Yeah, because what does Waltz know about, Harrison Biden's history in great detail? He's just, playing the game as a cover-up. It was a fudge speech. He has to, but none of it was truthful. And nothing's going to beat the point where he said that he's got a lot of great close personal friends with school shooters.
Oh, God, that was the worst. I got to take a break, Tony, but thank you for the call nonetheless. Great exchange. All right, we'll take a break. We'll come back. More news, more views, your phone calls. I want to hear it all. Based on my monologue, is Donald Trump handing over MAGA to even-keeled hands? In fact, a candidate that could possibly introduce an entire new generation of MAGA when we return. It's Reese on the Radio on NewsTalk 1080 WTIC.
How you see your smile has a dramatic effect on your life's outlook. If you're positive, others will see you that way too. Let Columbia Implant Center in Manchester help shape your smile the way you want it, all in one day. We have the specialist, the on-site digital dental lab, and the advanced technology to craft your perfect smile. Isn't it worth the investment to make your new smile a forever smile? Let us improve your life's outlook in one day. Call 860-730-6020 or visit us at ColumbiaImplantCenter.com.
This is Jean Marie Laskus with the podcast Cement City. So there's this election coming up, a big one, and one guy's been indicted. People are talking voter fraud. Democracy itself is on the line. Sound familiar? Well, this isn't that election. This one is in Denora, Pennsylvania, a dying town in the middle of nowhere, where I bought a house and stayed for 3 years. Listen to and follow Cement City, an Odyssey original podcast in partnership with Cement City Productions, available now for free on the Odyssey app and wherever you get your podcasts.
Follow WTIC News Talk 1080. Don't miss out on important updates in Connecticut, from breaking need-to-know news, weather alerts, and more. Follow WTIC News Talk 1080 on the Odyssey app now.
Hi, I'm Brian Kilmeade. I am so excited to be on WTIC right here in Hartford, Connecticut. I'll be bringing all the breaking news with perspective, give you an idea what's happening, not only the election, but beyond, the things that matter to you on a daily basis. I promise to bring you the best guests, the most insight, and the most prepared. Fresh off Fox and Friends, I come up to do the Brian Kilmeade Show here on Fox News. Make sure you join me on WTIC. Hello, Connecticut. I hope I never have to say goodbye.
And now, a WTIC News Update.
It's 3:30. Good afternoon. I'm John Silva. WTIC 1080 News. Middletown police are investigating a potential threat. They were called to the high school this afternoon. Officers say most of the kids had already been dismissed for the day, but they searched the building anyway to ensure the safety of staff and students in after-school programs. Schools in East Hampton saw additional security today. This one day after someone called in a report of a person with a gun in the high school, and that prompted a district-wide lockdown. That report turned out to be not credible, and that investigation is ongoing. Man's under arrest in East Haven, charged with attempting to carjack a pregnant woman from a fast food drive-thru. This happened Tuesday night at the Dunkin' on Foxen Road in town. William Rodriguez is charged. Police say he parked his vehicle in front of the victims, got out, and entered the victim's car demanding the keys. 2 male employees rushed outside, removed Rodriguez, and held him until police arrived. 8 Israeli soldiers have been killed in Israel's ground incursion into Lebanon to battle Hezbollah militants, region bracing for further escalation as Israel vows to retaliate for Iran's ballistic missile attack on Tuesday. President Biden and Vice President Harris in the southeast getting a first-hand look at the damage from Hurricane Helene. They are seeking to demonstrate their commitment to helping those devastated communities. And there is a statewide gun buyback this week. It's being held in partnership with police departments and the Newtown Action Alliance. It is the chance to safely remove firearms from homes to reduce the chances of those firearms falling into the wrong hands. WTIC News Time 3:32. Jason Caterina has the forecast.
For the rest of the afternoon, it remains mostly cloudy. Pleasant temps, though, with a high of 70. Tonight, under partly cloudy skies, mild but comfy with a low down to 53. Partly sunny and delightful for us on Thursday, the high of 75 with a light breeze out of the south-southwest. Then Friday, watch for some areas of fog in the morning. Otherwise, it'll be a partly sunny day and quite pleasant to round out the week with a high of 76. I'm meteorologist Jason Caterina in the WTIC Weather Center.
From the WTIC 24-hour traffic network. 84 East backups between exits 44 and 48 due to a 2-vehicle crash with the right lane closed. For these stories and more, go to WTIC.com. I'm John Silva, WTIC 1080 News.
Dan Andelman here, and even though I'm the Phantom Gourmet guy, I gave myself a goal of dropping 50 by 50. So what does that mean? Well, I'm going to lose 50 pounds by my 50th birthday, which is right around the corner. And guess what? I'm already down 23 pounds in just 4 weeks, thanks to Awaken 180 weight loss. Awaken 180 works no matter your age or weight number. How about 40 by 40, 60 by 60? Heck, you could be aiming for 80 by 80. And I'm just one of the 23,000 other clients who are proof. Here's the kicker. I'm still eating throughout the day. No starvation, no guilt. So I'm not just losing weight, I'm actually eating my way to it. With my Newton Awaken 180 coaches' support, there's no way I can fail, and they will not fail you either. Seriously, if I can do it in my line of work, anybody can do it. So what's your number? 10, 20, 40? Let's do it together with my solution for weight loss, thanks to Awaken 180 Weight Loss. Online at awaken180weightloss.com.
Do you know a veteran in need? After leaving the military, many veterans struggle to find their way home. Because to a veteran, home isn't just a place, it's an idea, a feeling. Nation's Finest understands the challenges veterans face. Through the VA's Supportive Services for Veteran Families program, we help veterans and their families struggling with rent, employment, and other housing-related costs. Today, Nation's Finest operates more than 30 locations in California, Arizona, and Nevada. For more than 50 years, we've helped thousands of veterans in these communities build happy, healthy, and purposeful lives. And our team is committed to supporting those who've served and their families for another 50. To get help, visit nationsfinest.org or call 1-833-468-9676. That's 1-833-468-9676.
Whether you own a local business or a global one, you know that these days, generating growth is a challenge. By teaming with Bank of America, you'll not just stay ahead of the curve, you'll move it. With access to experts, award-winning insights, and business solutions so powerful, you'll make every move matter, locally and globally. Visit bankofamerica.com/banking for business to learn more. What would you like the power to do? Copyright 2024 Bank of America N.A.
I can't wait for golf this weekend, huh, buddy? Time flies. Love you, man. Oh, don't forget your knee brace again. We aren't in college anymore.
Moments together matter, so help protect yourself from RSV. If you're 75 or older or 60 plus with a chronic condition like asthma, COPD, heart disease, or severe diabetes, you're at higher risk of landing in the hospital from RSV, and there are no prescription RSV treatments. Check eligibility and schedule your RSV vaccine at vaxassist.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
Wow, honey, have you seen the electric bill?
Yeah, it's out of control. But have you heard of Navien tankless water heaters?
Tankless? How does that even work?
Well, instead of constantly heating and storing water, it only heats water when we need it. So much more efficient than our giant tank heater.
That sounds great. Let's look into Navien.
Already on it.
Imagine all the hot water you need only when you need it. Bulky tanks are history. Navien high-efficiency tankless is the future. Compact, wall-hung units free up floor space, lower energy bills, longer life than tanks, and a 15-year warranty. Find out more at tanklessmadesimple.com.
California Psychics is the real deal. They helped me out, totally changed my attitude, totally got me psyched to start my business and to take a new path in my life.
At California Psychics, we only connect our customers with the best. We reject 98% of the psychics who apply to us, so we guarantee if your reading isn't life-changing, it's free. New customers receive 20 minutes for just $20. So experience the joy of certainty at CaliforniaPsychics.com.
Hey, it's Matt, your leaf filter trusted pro. Gutters are an often neglected part of the home. They're also one of the most important. Clogged, overflowing gutters can cause serious problems like foundation damage or basement flooding, which can cost thousands of dollars to fix. Let's face it, cleaning gutters yourself is not only a hassle, it can be dangerous. But when you get Leaf Filter, you'll never have to worry about cleaning clogged gutters again. Get started today by visiting leaffilter.com/rain to schedule your free inspection. If you decide to move forward, we'll professionally clean, realign, and seal your gutters before installing our patented stainless steel micro mesh system. Leaf Filter keeps out everything but the water. And it's backed by a lifetime transferable no clogs warranty. So you're protected for good. We're in your neighborhood and ready to help. Visit Leaf Filter today for a free inspection and estimate, and you could save up to 30%. Visit leaffilter.com/rain. That's leaffilter.com/rain.
Men, here are some statistics about erectile dysfunction. Half of men over age 50 have it, with even more of us affected as we get into our 60s and beyond. ED can also impact younger men, even in their 30s, which makes it one of the most pervasive conditions in medicine. This is Dale for Northeast Men's Health, and statistics are one thing, but it's the emotional toll on relationships and the impacts on a man's confidence and self-esteem that are the true tragedies of erectile dysfunction. This is why you need to get treated for your ED, but where you get treated is just as important as getting treated, because who you trust for your health care is critical. At Northeast Men's Health, men's sexual health is our focus. Our providers are experts in treating ED, and we offer the complete range of treatment options with protocols that are effective in well over 90% of cases, which means you can get your sex life back. So call us. Your first visit is just $99 and includes blood work, a medical consult, and if medically advised, a test dose. And if that test dose doesn't work in the office, your visit is free. Call 800-930-5956 or go to northeastmenshealth.com.
What's up, everybody? You know who it is. You know who it is. You know who it is. It's Reese on the Radio. Frederick Douglass of the 21st century.
It's WTIC News Talk 1080.
We're back. It's Reese on the Radio, NewsTalk 1080 WTIC. Sorry, I screwed up something with my microphone there. I can tell you something real quick about this group. I was at a record release party for Redman, and these guys in the boot camp clip were hanging out in the VIP room, and they started screaming my name, asking me to come hang out with them. I was like, I'd always been a fan of theirs, but then they knew who I was, and I was like, oh my God, I've arrived. That's weird. Anyway, getting to your phone calls in a second. Joe is in New Hampshire. We'll get to you in a second, Joe. Stand by for me real quick. I want to make a note about this because, people are talking about, I'm getting text message and emails about the opening monologue. It's true. Adam said that J.D. Vance humanized himself when he expressed the regard for Tim Walz's child, who would say, I think his son, he said it witnessed a school shooting. And that was, again, very important to getting people or getting Vance. I'm going to put it this way. What J.D. Vance did last night was to destroy and dispel the character assassination from the news media because they got to see him unfiltered. Another thing I want to mention, because everyone's going to talk about this, and I will not bore you with another discussion on it. I've got a remedy as opposed to an argument. Many people are talking about how the moderators promised not to fact check, but fact checked anyway, and then J.D. Vance took them to task on this. I've got a remedy in the future, and I hope it catches on. In order to keep the moderators honest, and when I say honest, no fact checking, I would make a condition of me doing it on your network that we sort of have let's just say a flag on the play. Hear me out. We agree there will be no fact-checking by the moderators. They will duel it out between themselves and keep pushing back and leave it to the audience to then do it. However, a condition that I would say as a Republican, if I was the head of the Republican National Committee, I would say, here's what we want to do. We want to have our own independent fact-checker on the grounds, in the room. Democrats can have theirs, the independents, if they make it to the stage, they can have theirs. What? Only in these elections, like the vice presidential and the presidential debates, not the primaries. But we have an independent fact checker, our own, their own. That in the event that the moderator tries to fact check, we'll call a flag on the play. I'd like to challenge that fact check and say that I won't do the debate unless you do it under those conditions. Screw your network. Screw your moderators. This is the only condition we will have. There will be no fact check. And if there is one, we'd like to have an independent fact checker of our choosing for our side. The Democrats can have one on their side. If you decide to fact check, we get to call a flag on the play. We'll only get two, just like they do in the football games. And if you are caught fact checking us in any way, we get to call our independent fact checker to bring up and correct the record. It will dead that nonsense. And the fact checker can use source material and other. Here's where it's true and cite where they get it from. Washington Post, Washington Examiner, which reporter. That should be the flag on the play. Yes, it will delay the process, but what the hell? If it's all about fact checking, let's fact check. I believe that Republicans should do it that way. Back to the phones we go. 860-522-WTIC. Joe is in New Hampshire. How are you doing, Joe? Thanks for holding.
Hey, Reverend, what's going on with California psychics? You just had an ad with them. When are they coming on to predict everything?
I will talk to Joey about it. In fact, I'm going to email him right now and see when we can get him on.
Yeah, because John Hogue's going to be on Coast to Coast in a couple of weeks.
I know.
I'd like to compare their predictions on so many things.
Hey, did you see Lewandowski on with Jim Acosta yesterday, or was it this? Yeah, it was this afternoon.
Yeah, Corey's right on top of his game. Trump's got a lot of good people as surrogates, I'll tell you. But Acosta is a lost cause. You should have Acosta on your show.
No.
It'd probably be the first time you would really lose your temper, because I've never heard you lose your temper.
I would never lose my temper, but he is a smug piece of whatever. And you know what? I've listened to this debate, I'll get into it later with Scott Jennings and that black woman who was on the program yesterday. To watch that woman roll her eyes as he talked about children dying in the womb, and she rolled her eyes at him. I've got something to say about that, but I'll wait until later. People are not going to like what I have to say. Nonetheless, Joe, you called on your own. What do you got for me, sir? I'm sure you checked out the debate. Did you want to opine on what I said about Donald Trump handing over the reins of MAGA?
Well, here's the thing on the debate. I got a few things I'd like to run by quickly. The quick one is when Walsh said at the beginning, you got a person nearly 80 years old, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
I would have screamed at him if I were Donald Trump instead of, Vance. I would have screamed at him. Well, he's only 70. He just turned 78. There's a big difference when you're up in that age group because Biden's 82, and you see what's happened to him.
Right.
But Walsh, you look like you're going on 80.
Well, he does.
He looks like he's going on 80 at least. So
you know who
have said that about Trump, knowing the way he comes across.
Do you know who Walls looks like? And I hope that this actually, it ran through my head, but now that I'm putting it out there, I know people are going to say, yeah, you're kind of right. Tim Walz looks like a real-life version of Barney Rubble.
Yes. Yes.
He does.
The two moderators, they thought they were cute. Instead of doing the fact-checking was against the rules.
Right.
But what they did was every question of Vance was an advanced fact check, which went into the question.
Isn't that interesting, the way that they did that? And again, it shows that these guys are comparing notes. You know, like CBS was watching what ABC did in tune, following what CNN did. Everybody is pretty much copying off everyone else's paper and trying to do it differently. It was like, oh, ABC outright fact check. We'll put the fact check in the question, and then no one will accuse us of fact checking.
Yeah, someone got paid $250,000 to come up with that idea. It worked out beautifully, didn't it? Two more things. two more things.
No, hold on, Joe. I got to, because a break's coming up soon. I got two more people I got to get to, man. But I'm sorry. I promise I'll let you go. I'll let you go again the next time.
I left the best for the last, but okay.
No problem. Fred is in Middletown. How you doing, sir?
Hey, good. So I'm going with that the fix is in.
Okay.
It's a psyop all the way, and then they're just getting two birds with one stone while they throw it.
Right.
Yeah. And I just got to double down on this. Those show promos, those are that you do. Each one tops the last one.
Oh, come on! This one, I don't even try hard enough. Every time I'm running around here going, I need a great one-liner, and thank you for. I appreciate that you appreciate them.
What was today's? I might have missed it.
No, it hasn't come out yet, but this one is about
okay.
This one is about Turkish airline upgrades.
Yeah. Okay. No, I haven't heard. Yeah, and basically just that. My source says, again, I don't think a lot. I listen to people I trust to take their word on it. My source says the fix is in, Trump is picked. And so that's why, nobody's talking about the vaccine, for example, the lockdown. I guess he's still taking credit, dude. You know what I mean? For saving lives, Operation Warp Speed and all that. All right, thank you.
You got it, sir. Sean is in Meriden. How you doing, Sean?
I'm doing good. One of the things that I thought was interesting, people have said vice president debates or vice presidency don't really matter.
Right.
And all I have to do is say, let's look at what we have currently and tell me that vice presidents don't matter.
Yeah, you know what? It is so true because on the outlier, and I think Matt pretty much, summed it up, is that a lot of people are looking at this from the level of Donald Trump's, the assassination attempts on him, knowing that there's still an open threat out there. J.D. Vance, without maybe on purpose, but maybe, by accident, had to give off the air of whether or not he could be in charge on day one. And again, I think his style altogether, in his interviews, in his appearances, in some of the rallies, I think he's been able to articulate himself in such a way that he sort of gives off a confidence that everybody can sort of, level up to. They can go, you know what, this guy's even keeled. He's got a steady hand. And I really believe, like I said, I never really got that impression from him. But last night, when you are probably the most nervous you could ever be, there's no audience to feed off of, and you know that the moderators are against you, when you're in that situation and you come off as poised as he did, it says a lot about his character and his abilities.
And the last thing I want to say is the whole thing with one thing I got to give Bill Clinton credit for, and this is totally a different subject.
Right.
Is when the threat was against Bush, and it was Iran.
Yeah.
Clinton stepped up and did what he needed to do.
Yeah.
And this is where our president and our vice president have not done the same thing for President Trump. And that's a tragedy because you're saying that if he gets killed, no big deal.
You know, it's crazy.
And that is a crime.
Sean, the point that you're 100% about, 100% right about, is the fact that when everyone is making the accusation that the two of these individuals are corrupt and despicable, they do nothing more than exacerbate it by their actions today, right? By everything that they do, they sort of almost lend credence to what we think of them already by being ineffective, lazy, and pretty much incompetent. So, yeah, it's a great point. Thank you for the call, Sean.
Have a great day.
You got it, sir. All right, folks, we'll take a break. When we come back, I want to talk about the abortion argument that happened a little bit in a second, but just stand by because I'm not going to take any phone calls in the next break. I just want to bring up this thing that this Scott Jennings and whatever that other woman's name in this argument, but I want to talk about the African-American community and abortion when we get back. Stick around. It's Reese on the Radio on News Talk 1080 WTIC.
Take a moment and think of one thing you really wanted to do recently, but you didn't because your foot, leg, or back pain got in the way. Hi, this is Mike with the Good Feet Store. Well, you're not alone. We hear it all the time. Folks are fed up with living with pain that's keeping them from doing what they love, and they look to us at the Good Feet Store for a solution. And that's why we're here, to help get you back out there. Good Feet arch supports, which you can only get at the Good Feet Store, are designed to alleviate and even eliminate foot, knee, hip, and back pain. Plus, they provide improved balance, more comfort, and, well, just a better life. We'd like to help you turn your pain into possibilities with a free fitting at the Good Feet Store. You'll be personally fit by an arch support specialist, and you'll get to walk around and see how Good Feet arch supports feel. Then you can decide if they're right for you. For over 30 years, the Good Feet Store has been helping people get back to doing the things they love without their feet getting in the way. Stop in today at the Good Feet Store in Avon, across from Whole Foods, or visit goodfeet.com.
Bob Steele was born in Kansas City, Missouri. After graduation, he ran his own restaurant. He was also a successful amateur boxer.
But he said it.
But as the self-proclaimed second worst fighter in the world, he decided he needed to find something else to make a living. He loved motorcycles and appeared as a stunt rider in several Hollywood movies. And it was his passion for motorcycles that brought him to a career in radio. In 1932, he announced races for KGFJ in Los Angeles, and motorcycle racing brought Steele to Hartford. He announced evening races at Buckley Stadium, and when the racing season was over, he needed to look for a new job. WTIC had an opening for an announcer. Even though he had been turned down by several West Coast stations, he applied for the job and got it. His work as a stadium announcer had helped him develop a commanding vocal presence, which was required to work in radio.
I want to learn how to cook, but I keep ordering takeout.
I plan to rearrange my closet, but I stopped after picking the clothes up off the floor.
Accomplishing goals is hard, but when your goal is to learn a new language, Babbel makes it easy. In just 15 minutes a day, Babbel's award-winning language learning app will help you start speaking another language. Start having conversations in as little as 3 weeks.
Comment tu t'appelles? Comment tu t'appelles? Vous êtes où?
Vous êtes où?
Babbel's bite-sized lessons make it easy to learn words and phrases you'll actually use. So when someone asks,
"How's your French going?"
you can say,
Babbel est amusant et facilite grandement l'apprentissage d'une nouvelle langue. Et cela ne prend que 15 minutes par jour.
When you want to really learn another language, it starts with Babbel. Babbel, language for life. Celebrating 10 million subscriptions sold. Now try Babbel for free at Babbel.com. Just go to Babbel.com and start learning a new language today. That's Babbel.com. Babbel.com.
Do you have 3 ex-wives in your current... Wife wants a life insurance policy 3 times the size of the policies you had to purchase for your previous mistakes? If so, you need to call Big Lou at Term Provider, 800-511-3535. Big Lou is intimately familiar with your problems, and if you're 50 or 60 years old and in reasonably good health, a $1 million policy should only cost about $100 to $200 per month. Big Lou may have a solution for your previous policies as well. You may even save enough money to lighten the load on your new $1 million policy. Remember, call Big Lou. He's like you, except he's only on number 2. Call Term Provider, 800-511-3535. That's 800-511-3535. For $1 million in term life insurance that you can live with, call Big Lou at 800-511-3535.
Stay locked in. Reese on the Radio is on WTIC News Talk 1080.
I got to bring it down a notch only because this thing, just when it happened, it sort of made me angry. And you start going through all of the networks and stuff like that. But there's this one thing about the abortion argument last night that was bothering me. If you noticed during the debate, they made the, like every other topic, they were like, okay, you get to respond, we move on. But the abortion thing, they wanted to stay on. That was important because the abortion, they know Republicans are losing in that realm, right? So they needed to keep prodding that. We wanted more and more exchanges back and forth. And, of course, it was a hot-button issue on every one of the liberal networks. And it also happened with Scott Jennings over at CNN with a young lady, and I always forget her name. Ashley Allison is her name. This was the exchange. I want to play this real quick.
But he's running on it because he's running on it to win. He's not running on it because it's what he actually believes.
If I couldn't articulate a single restriction, I would attack Trump.
This is what Kamala Harris won't believe, that is none of your business what women do with their body. And so,
sorry about that. I've got the unpaid version of that. My paid. Anyway, this exchange, and you can go check it out. I'll actually post it. This exchange went back and forth. And again, Ashley Allison is a black woman. Of course, Scott Jennings is a white man. Not that anybody based on race has any moral high ground on this. But however, the debate is simple when it comes to people who are pro-life, and that is they believe that the baby is vulnerable and an innocent bystander in all of this who gets killed, because that's what happens. Somebody dies. And late-term abortion, that being the argument, is what people are discussing. But to watch this woman, when Scott Jennings says, I'm defending the most vulnerable, again, as a black woman who stands on this nonsense that, black people are most vulnerable and, most oppressed people in the world, while he's talking about someone she should have an allegiance to, she rolls her eyes. This always harkens back to me, and I know it seems kind of petty, but it always used to go back to the Maury Show. And I used to watch the Maury Show. You guys remember it if you watched it. It was a guilty pleasure. And Maury would have these men on there to find out whether or not they were the father of this child, of this obviously promiscuous woman. But when the guy would sit there and he would find out that the child wasn't his, he would jump in jubilation and do backflips. But it was when the fathers who found out that they were the father of that child, and the consternation, the absolute hate that they had for that infant, for that toddler, that you could see in their eyes that they felt as though their lives were ruined. That despicable display angers me. Because if there's one thing that I've understood that's a product of the African-American community, so-called, is that people don't have any reverence for their offspring, their children. It's the reason why they don't care about them being shot and killed in the street. And when I watch this woman roll her eyes while he's talking about the most vulnerable, it sickens me. Let's go to the BPS Traffic Center for our first check of the traffic with Mark Christopher in the BPS Traffic Center. Hey, Mark.
Hey, Reese, thank you very much. Good afternoon to you. Good afternoon, everyone. Well, if you're westbound 84, we have an accident now in the Bothie Bridge. Left lane blocked there, delays back to 56, and you're tight pretty much right up to 48 Asylum Street. Beyond that, if you're eastbound 84, you got delays about a mile before 46th Avenue into the tunnel. Southbound 91 slows 33 down to 32 A and B, and again down by exit 28. More slow traffic as you move down by exit 21 down to 20, and again 19 to 17 in Meriden. Now, if you are traveling right now on the westbound side of Route 2, that looks good. Glastonbury, just a little slow as you move up on the exit 4 to the 84 West merge in East Hartford. 291 eastbound's a little slow over the Bissell Bridge. Heading into Middletown, 9 northbound delays approaching Harbor Park to the Aragoni Bridge. If you're traveling into Waterbury right now on the westbound side of 84, you're looking at delays from exit 26 up to the Mixmaster. And as we speak, it looks like that accident that was the left lane on the Bulkley Bridge, they're taking that off the highway as we speak, so look out for that. Also, if you are traveling on 691 westbound in Meriden, looks like we have an accident on the westbound side there between exit, well, it looks like it's just west of exit 3, so look for some delays there on both sides of 691 through that area. Traffic and weather together on the 8's WTIC News Talk 1080.
WTIC weather. Well, the rest of our Wednesday afternoon, it remains mostly cloudy and pleasant, the high of 70. Tonight, under partly cloudy skies, it'll be mild but comfy with a low down to 53. Then Thursday, partly sunny, a delightful day. A nice light breeze out of the south-southwest and the high of 75. Watch for some areas of fog in the morning on Friday. Otherwise, a partly sunny and beautiful day to round out the week with the high of 76. I'm meteorologist Jason Caterina in the WTIC Weather Center.
Follow WTIC News Talk 1080. Don't miss out on important updates in Connecticut. From breaking need-to-know news, weather alerts, and more. Follow WTIC News Talk 1080 on the Odyssey app now. WTIC is 99 and throwing a year-long celebration to 100 years on the air. This is WTIC and WTIC FM HD2 Hartford. Always live on the free Odyssey app.
It's 4 o'clock in the afternoon. I'm John Silva, WTIC 1080 News. Police in Middletown were called to the high school this afternoon on the
Be right back.
threat. Most of the students were already dismissed by the time that report was received. They checked on the school for the safety of staff and students who were on hand for after-school programs. That investigation is ongoing. Also, reports of threats made toward Columbia schools earlier today. Those threats turned out to be not credible. Additional security was on hand in East Hampton. This after a lockdown across the district on Tuesday. Someone called in an active shooter report in the afternoon. That brought police out from multiple agencies across all 4 schools in the district before that report was deemed non-credible. An investigation is ongoing as to who placed that call. President Biden's getting an aerial view of destruction from Hurricane Helene in the Carolinas. John Torpy is with World Central Kitchen, and they've set up in Asheville.
We'll cook just under 20,000 meals. We're prepared to go way higher than that as we can get more drivers, as we can get more volunteers, as we can get more food coming in.
More from correspondent Jim Krasula.
Hundreds of roads and bridges have been washed away in the southern Appalachian Mountains. Massive piles of rancid debris are everywhere. Search and rescue teams are slowly going through those, looking for possible flooding victims. Hundreds are still missing.
Death toll at least 175. Vice President Harris is visiting Georgia today. Tensions are still high in Israel following that missile attack Tuesday by Iran.
More air raid sirens. President Biden says he will not support an Israeli attack on sites related to Tehran's nuclear program in response to Iran's missile attack on Israel a day ago. Israeli UN Ambassador Danny Danon is warning of a counterattack.
Let me be clear. Israel will defend itself. We will act. And let me assure you, the consequences Iran will face for their actions will be far greater than they could ever have imagined.
Monday marks 1 year since the Israel-Hamas war began.
CBS's Matt Piper. There's a statewide gun buyback this weekend. It's being held Saturday in partnership with police departments and the Newtown Action Alliance. Organizers say it's a chance to safely remove unwanted firearms from homes to reduce the chances of those firearms falling into the wrong hands. Those turning in guns at police departments throughout the state can receive gift cards and free gun safes while supplies last. Kristen Song heads the Ethan Miller Song Foundation. Her son was killed after he accidentally shot himself with an unsecured firearm.
I am a broken mother. My family has been shattered. My son, Evan, Ethan's older brother, only recently began mentioning Ethan's name. He told me last week that when he says Ethan's name, all he can picture is his little brother with that big, beautiful smile.
Organizers are using the buyback to also remind gun owners of the importance of safely securing their weapons. The American Cancer Society reports that breast cancer cases in women continue to increase, rising 1% per year for the decade ending in 2021. An OBGYN, Dr. Dana Scott at UConn Health, cites some of the risk factors.
We know that breast cancer rates are elevated in people who drink alcohol, even just moderate alcohol use, so like 3 to 6 drinks per week. Also, it's associated with higher weight.
But survival rates are high when it's caught early. The National Breast Cancer Foundation says when caught in its earliest stages, the 5-year survival rate is 99%. During this Breast Cancer Awareness Month, doctors are reminding patients to schedule once-a-year mammograms starting at age 40. Periodic self-evaluation can also be helpful as well. Closing bell report sponsored by Bouvier Insurance. Dow up 39, NASDAQ up 14, S&P up a point. For these stories and more, go to WTIC.com. I'm John Silva, WTIC 1080 News.
Whether you own a local business or a global one, you know that these days, generating growth is a challenge. By teaming with Bank of America, you'll not just stay ahead of the curve, you'll move it. With access to experts, award-winning insights, and business solutions so powerful, you'll make every move matter, locally and globally. Visit bankofamerica.com/banking for business to learn more. What would you like the power to do? Copyright 2024 Bank of America N.A.
I can't wait for golf this weekend, huh, buddy? Time flies. Love you, man. Oh, don't forget your knee brace again. We aren't in college anymore.
Moments together matter, so help protect yourself from RSV. If you're 75 or older or 60 plus with a chronic condition like asthma, COPD, heart disease, or severe diabetes, you're at higher risk in the hospital from RSV, and there are no prescription RSV treatments. Check eligibility and schedule your RSV vaccine at vaxassist.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
You're listening to Reese on the Radio, filling in today for Todd Feinberg on WTIC News Talk 1080.
The stupidest thing I've read today. This one is a doozy, folks. You got to go to ReeseOnTheRadio.com to read the full story. It's ReeseOnTheRadio.com. This one out of Mediaite.com. The IRS hits freed hostages with massive fines for not paying taxes while held in Russian prisons. This is a real story. Do you remember Evan Gershkovich? I guess it's Gershkovich, right? Yeah, the Wall Street Journal reporter who was held for over 500 days in a Russian gulag. Remember that? Well, he came home to a $6,000 IRS bill. You got to read it there. Go to ReeseOnTheRadio.com. Go to ReeseOnTheRadio.com so that you can read it yourself. That has got to be the dumbest thing that I've read in a while. It is the dumbest. I don't know. What do you say? Yeah, let me play this audio now that I got the moment. Well, I've only got 45 seconds. But yeah, I'm going to post it on my Facebook page so you can listen to the exchange on this. It angers me because if you really want to know the real problem in the inner city, it's that disregard for life, even for a baby. And to watch that woman roll her eyes talking about children. You say, I care about the most vulnerable, and she just rolls her eyes. She doesn't care. Childless cat ladies really applies to women like that. It's just kind of annoying. Come on, Roland, that's early. Oh, okay. I know why he's doing it early. Let's go to the BPS Traffic Center with Mark Christopher. Mark, is today what's the lightest traffic day of the week in your view? Now, I know it's not Monday.
I would say Friday morning, yeah.
Friday morning is the lightest ever? Fewer people going to work because of furlough or 4-day work week kind of deal?
Maybe 4-day work day, or they're just taking a long weekend or working from home on Friday. I don't know. Friday morning just seems to be the lightest day.
Well, why is Friday? See, this is something that I understand, and I got to get to this, so forgive me, and thank you for indulging me. If Friday morning is so, limited, right? It's a pretty good traffic day. Why is Friday night so bad? Or Friday evening? Because for some odd reason, it's a mess. And fewer people went to work in the first place. But in the afternoon, going home, it's worse than any other day of the week.
That's true. Well, I think a lot of the rich folks between New York and Boston are going to their second
summer
home.
homes. Blame the rich.
I don't know. I don't know what it could be. Just there's a lot more people, so I'm going to assume it's the rich people going to their second homes.
I think it's more people going out, getting ready for the weekend. It's the dumbest time, folks. If you're going on vacation or you're going, away for the weekend, don't drive during rush hour on Friday. You're making it worse.
Yeah, Friday afternoon is probably the worst day of the week, usually.
Yeah.
But Friday morning is usually the quietest portion of the week. So
I don't know. It's just something that just ran through my head because everywhere I've ever lived, traffic has been like that for that same reason. Light on Friday morning, heavy on Friday night.
That's right. You're exactly right. Well, if you're heading into Hartford right now, the ride is okay, not too bad. It's southbound 91 slows 33 down to 32 A and B, and again down by 28. Northbound 91's moving well, Cromwell through downtown up into Windsor. 84 eastbound, slow traffic, 44 Prospect Oakwood into the tunnel. Westbound 84 tied up East Hartford, 56 Governor Street up to exit 47 Sigourney. 291, 384, okay, 2 westbound moving well, Glastonbury to Marlboro. 9 northbound, Middletown slowing Harbor Park to the Irrigoti Bridge. Looks like that earlier accident, 691 westbound on the Meriden Southington line between 3 and 5. It looks like that's out of there, so delays are starting to ease out on both sides of 691. If you're traveling 84 eastbound, you got a little slow traffic by exit 5 in Danbury. Again, seeing some slow traffic as you move between exit 15 and 16 in Southbury on the eastbound side of 84. 91 in the Parkway, okay, toward New Haven. Traffic and weather together on the 8's WTIC News Talk 1080.
WTIC weather.
As we head through the rest of the afternoon and into tonight, it'll be partly cloudy and cool but comfortable overnight. The low down to 53, then partly sunny. Beautiful day for us on our Thursday, the high of 75. Watch for some areas of fog in the morning on Friday. Otherwise, it'll be partly sunny and quite pleasant, the high of 76. Some clouds and sunshine Saturday. Another gorgeous early fall day, the high 75. Mostly sunny, comfortable on Sunday with the high of 70. Right now, Danbury 66, Bridgeport also 66 at 68 in Hartford. I'm meteorologist Jason Caterina in the WTIC Weather Center.
If you're experiencing low energy, brain fog, or bloating, then your body might need a detox. Active Liver from New Nordic makes it easy to detox your body all year long without major changes to your diet or lifestyle. Active Liver is available in stores at CVS or online at Amazon.
Start your day with all the latest sports information. Matt Soroyce has updates from the Cordell and Cordell Sports Desk at 15 and 45 past every hour. Only on WTIC News Talk 1080.
ProHealth Physicians has proudly been keeping Connecticut healthy for nearly 25 years. ProHealth accepts Husky Medicaid, Medicare, TRICARE, and most major insurances. For trusted local care for your whole family, call 1-855-CT-MD-411 or visit ProHealthMD.com.
This is Carson Daly, and on behalf of Dr. Alfie, Katie Neal, and all of our guests, I want to thank you for joining us for I'm Listening, Odyssey's mental health initiative. Our goal is to open our minds and hearts to more mental health conversations because talk saves lives. If you missed the special or want to hear it again, you can find it at imlistening.org and on the free Odyssey app. That's AUDACY. For more resources on your mental health journey, please visit imlistening.org. Thanks again.
I'm Listening on WTIC News Talk 1080 was sponsored by Amplify.
Babes.
Hold on a minute.
What? I'm just mowing the lawn. No, it's blazing hot and dry out here. Don't you remember? Smokey Bear says.
Avoid using power equipment when it's windy or dry.
Where'd you learn this? Oh, it's on
SmokeyBear.com with many other wildfire prevention tips.
Right. Thanks, Honey Bear.
Because remember, only you can prevent wildfires.
Brought to you by the USDA Forest Service, your state forester, and the Ad Council.
Uh-oh, Brad's buzzed.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, he's starting with the woots. And now a speech.
Roland, have you heard the new Diddy allegations yet?
Heart and brain. Who's with?
No, what's he already got like 1,000 things against him.
Oh, dude, wait until we go back on.
Me too.
Know your
Call for a ride when it's time to go home. Buzz driving is drunk driving.
Well, you about to go right now.
Okay.
It's Reese on the radio. And don't say we didn't warn you on News Talk 1080 WTIC.
Oh, man. A lot of people about to catch the vapors. Rest in peace, Biz Markie. It's Reese on the radio, News Talk 1080 WTIC. I'm only bringing this up, folks, because, again, and I promised Lori and Glastonbury that I would not inundate this program with Diddy news. I don't do celebrity nonsense. I just don't. But this is crazy, okay? Only because the level of which it is reached at this point. And it would not do it justice to call it a fever pitch. It has reached a level that is beyond compare. Let me start by saying this before I play the audio. In fact, someone was asking me this earlier. I think it was my ex-wife who asked me this. Why are people so caught up? Oh, she had watched the video where one of the alleged victims says that no one seems to be caring about what they went through. They only seem to be concerned about who's being accused and who might be accused. And I was explaining to her that, again, this is a case that involves a celebrity. Because it's salacious in nature and involves sex, people are paying attention to the well-knowns. Not because they are trying to, either cheer for them in some way. It's only because of their status. That's in fact, some people who are gleefully, my wife included, who want to see these people go down have a degree of schadenfreude. For those of you who don't know what it is, please look that up. Word of the day. So, but even this schadenfreude, honest to goodness, is justified. Why? Because of the allegations in this case. So there's an attorney who had a press conference. And this attorney is not some run-of-the-mill guy. His name is Tony Busby. And Tony Busby had a press conference talking about 50 of the 120 victims who have now come forward and filed a lawsuit against P. Diddy for these alleged crimes. Now, I said this when George, my friend Gio in New York, asked the question, why are people, filing lawsuits and not, calling the police? These things, these sexual assaults don't have, statutes of limitations on them. And I said, okay, some people are trying to get a buck, and I get that, but it's not on me to figure out anyone's motive. Their motive is their motive. But anyway, Tony Busby represents 50 people in this lawsuit. He's a big deal in Texas. He represented Ken Paxton in Texas recently when he had an impeachment trial. He was the lead on that. You know how that ended. Paxton was cleared. He is a bigwig. They call him, New York Times called him one of the most successful trial attorneys in Texas. He was on the cover of the New York Times magazine, so he's no joke. So when I play this, I'm not playing you some run-of-the-mill, ambulance chaser, so to speak. So listen closely to what he has to say about the case against P. Diddy.
Many of you came here thinking or hoping or perhaps believing that I may start naming names. Well, that day will come, but it won't be today. The day will come when we will name names other than Sean Combs, and there's a lot of names. It's a long list already. And of course, I already know who some of these individuals are, but because of the nature of this case, we're going to make damn sure that we're right before we do that. But the names that we're going to name, assuming that our investigators confirm and corroborate what we've been told, are names that will shock you. These are individual cases. There are indeed other perpetrators involved. They will be revealed when that particular individual case is ready to be filed. They already know who they are. And I'm talking here about not just the cowardly but complicit bystanders. That is, those people that we know watched this behavior occur and did nothing. And I'm talking about the people that participated, encouraged it, egged it on. They know who they are. I call them the facilitators of foul play, willing participants in vile conduct. As we identify them, each will be part of this case as defendants. These defendants will not only include individuals, but would also include corporate entities who ultimately profited off of this culture and behavior. I'm looking at banks, pharmaceutical companies, hotels. We know that many of these individuals were paid cash. We know that many of these individuals involved, whether they were the ones being assaulted and abused or they're witnessing other people being assaulted and abused and then paid and threatened and told to leave.
Now, that's an interesting angle on all of this, because everyone I played this video for, they went, pharmaceutical companies? Who could they possibly be talking about? Well, for those of you who have been following this, there was something interesting in this indictment of Sean P. Diddy Combs. And that was in the indictment, it said that these parties lasted for days. And people were given IVs. And when I read that and my wife read that, we kept looking at each other going, wait a minute, IVs? Now, my wife, because she's a former combat medic, said that you can't just have anybody administer an IV. Like, she had to be trained to do that. And they had to have hours and hours to, of muscle memory, like to develop muscle memory on how to get it right. I focused on, but wait a minute, where the hell do you get IVs from? You can't get those things from a hospital. Even if Diddy had somebody at a clinic or at a hospital, where's he getting IVs for these long parties? Someone had to provide them. The hospital can't just give them away because all of that is accounted for, right? They have a sort of a warehouse list of all of those things. It has to be accounted for, the things that they purchase. But a pharmaceutical company, that's different. Pharmaceutical company could provide you with IVs. My wife humorously said, can you imagine somebody in a hospital, like they're taking their inventory and they're going, 2 for me, 1 for Diddy, 2 for me, 2 for Diddy. Like, someone's actually doing that. No, I really do believe that he had an arrangement with a pharmaceutical company. Of course, you heard him mention the hotels. We know about the Cassie tape. The Cassie tape has only become public because for years now, no one knew the tape was in existence. Why? Because they kept it. They kept it hidden. So now, Tony Bisbee is going after the hotels, saying that they may indeed have known about said freak-offs, even if it were employees that were handed tens of thousands of dollars. He goes on to talk about how they were given $10,000 in cash to say nothing, to look the other way. Some were given $10,000 and threatened with violence. I'll just leave it for him to say it. Here's a little bit more before we go to a break.
Typically paid 10 grand in cash and told to leave, and then threatened as they were leaving. So in addition to Sean Combs, you should know the defendants in these cases we're going to file will include anyone, of course, who engaged in the assault or exploitation, anyone who participated in such in any way, anyone who encouraged or facilitated this conduct, anyone who was in the room and watched it happen but made no effort to stop it, any venue or venue owner who was aware of what was going on but failed to stop it, any individual or entity who knew about the conduct and benefited from it but did nothing to report it or stop it, and any individual or entity who covered it up or helped cover it up. These people who know who they are should just come forward now. I would imagine, as we speak here, there are a myriad of people who are very nervous. You can't hide skeletons in the closet forever. I would expect there are many people out there right now who are desperately searching their memories as they delete their texts and data. Now, although these are, in fact, individual cases, there is a common theme, an MO, if you will. Typically, the victim is lured into a situation where he or she is given a drink. Typically, that drink, reported by these victims, is apparently laced with something. Once that drink takes effect, the perpetrators perform all kinds of sexual acts on the victims, many times passing him or her around as other people watch and enjoy the show, and then leave the victim ashamed, confused, injured, and wondering what happened.
I don't, again, like I said, you can't listen to this and not say to yourself, every one of the people responsible have to burn. Right? This goes beyond wishing the worst for some tacky hip-hop artist. Right? This goes beyond the pale. The reason why it goes beyond the pale, folks, I haven't even gotten to the bad part. Oh, yeah, this is bad, but I didn't get to the bad part yet. Because the bad part is really, really bad.
When the victim reaches out, he or she is told not to say anything. Sometimes there are threats of physical violence or financial repercussions or bodily harm. The claims we intend to bring will include the following: violent sexual assault or rape, sexual abuse, facilitated sex with a controlled substance, false imprisonment, compelling prostitution, sexual misconduct, dissemination of video recordings, false imprisonment, sexual abuse of minors.
I told you. And according to the report, one of the minors is as young as 9. Yeah. So I know a lot of people who are looking at this going, oh, Diddy going down. It's far worse than that. Far worse. Because for Tony Busby to say that he recognized many of the names, when he said that it was shocking, I look, do I expect A-listers to be on this list? Yeah, to some degree. Some of you who are going beyond the pale, and I said this on my Sunday show, don't start implicating the biggest names of the world. And you know who I'm talking about. I don't want to besmirch them and even adding them into this conversation. But don't go beyond the pale. But yes, you can damn well expect that you're going to recognize some of these names. And I think he's so much as suggesting that, Tony Busby. I think he's making that clear, that you're going to recognize some of these people. But it doesn't matter whether or not you recognize these people. The fact is that even if they were there, if they recognized this behavior going on, they stood idly by. Some of them cheered it on. These witnesses claim that's what happened. These things were probably done in front of people they admired. That they believed they were getting close to, that they felt special, made to feel important, and were violated. Oh, it's dirty. So again, I know that some people are gleefully looking at all of this, but again, if Tony Busby is correct and these allegations by these people, the DOJ, the federal government, whatever the case may be, they've got to go further than this. And don't give us that nonsense about the Jeffrey Epstein or the Harvey Weinstein stuff. This is something that's got to be thoroughly weeded out so everybody knows. This could very well gut Hollywood as we know it. That celebrity nonsense, all of that disappears. This is a reckoning, as it should be. As it should be. No more QAnon conspiracy theories, folks. This is the real deal. He says that we're going to learn about this in the next 30 days. We're going to start naming names in 30 days. That's just a little while away. Let's get to the BPS Traffic Center with our good friend, Mark Christopher. I guess we're waiting on the tone. There he is. Mark Christopher, how are you, sir?
I'm doing really well, Reese. Thank you very much. Good afternoon to you. Good afternoon, everyone. Well, if you're heading into Hartford right now and you're on the southbound side of I-91, look for delays 33 to 32, again 27.
Can we say, oh, damn?
More delays approaching exit 19 in Maryland.
I'm going to wait for the names.
Across Parkway North on 91, that moves real well.
Oh, yeah.
Up into Windsor. If you
the names, from what we heard
side of 84,
yesterday, there are some A-minus listers. In other words, you know them, but they're not.
Tied up about a half mile before.
Some of them
just not Jay-Z and Beyonce.
No, I don't think. No, I was going to say it's not. You know,
5C and 5D.
What's the name? The Obamas or anything like that. I was like, don't expect them.
Slowing it
like, I don't think they're going to be. I don't think they're going to be on the list.
691.
People are hoping for them to be on the list, but I'm like, nah, I don't expect that. Nobody, no way that they would even jeopardize themselves in that manner.
Through there, if you're traveling into Waterbury, Western 84.
But I'm sure I'm gonna personally know some of them people.
Oh yeah.
84 eastbound Newtown, slowing by exit 11. Southbound on the Parkway, you've got some slow traffic now as you move down in toward the West Rock Tunnel. 95 southbound New Haven slows 46 down to 44. Traffic and weather together on the 8th. WTIC News Talk 1080.
Dental emergency? There's one place you can go that is always prepared. Columbia Dental in Manchester. Your dental emergency room throughout the state. 1 day, same day, 7 days a week. Call 860-645-0111 or visit columbiadental.com.
It's a win-win-win.
WTIC weather.
For the rest of the afternoon, it remains mostly cloudy. Pleasant temps, though, with a high of 70. Tonight, under partly cloudy skies.
Michael A., how am I supposed to eat my dinner now?
And delightful for us on Thursday, the high of 75 with a light breeze out of the south-southwest. Then Friday, watch for some areas of fog in the morning. Otherwise, it'll be a partly sunny day and quite pleasant to round out the week with a high of 76. I'm meteorologist Jason Caterina in the WTIC Weather Center.
And now, a WTIC news update.
4:30, good afternoon. I'm John Silva. More school threats around the state today. Middletown police were called to the high school. Students had already been dismissed. There were also threats reported in New London and in Cromwell. Man's under arrest after East Haven police say he tried to carjack a pregnant woman from a Dunkin' drive-thru on Foxon Road Tuesday night. William Rodriguez faces a host of charges. 2 employees held him down until police arrived. Wallingford police have made an arrest in connection with reports of prostitution in town. 41-year-old Erica Waller of Wallingford allegedly agreed to sexual acts in exchange for money. They say that operation was being run out of a condo in town. 8 Israeli soldiers have been killed in Israel's ground incursion into Lebanon to battle Hezbollah. The region bracing for further escalation as Israel vows it will retaliate for Iran's ballistic missile attack on Tuesday. President Biden and Vice President Harris visiting the Southeast get a first-hand look at the damage from Hurricane Helene. Biden is in North Carolina, Harris in Georgia today. And Rosh Hashanah begins at sundown, the observance of the Jewish New Year. It is the start of the high holy days in the Jewish calendar, which includes Yom Kippur, the Day of Atonement. There are dozens of locations across Connecticut where services will be held, according to Chabad Jewish Center in Glastonbury. Wall Street, the Dow finished up 39 points today. The Nasdaq gained 14, and the S&P was up a point. Baseball, MLB wildcard, the National League. Mets will try to wrap things up in Milwaukee later this evening. The Amazons lead that series 1-0. For these stories and more, go to WTIC.com. I'm John Silva, WTIC 1080 News.
Dan Andelman here, and even though I'm the Phantom Gourmet guy, I gave myself a goal of dropping 50 by 50. So what does that mean? Well, I'm going to lose 50 pounds by my 50th birthday, which is right around the corner. And guess what? I'm already down 23 pounds in just 4 weeks, thanks to Awaken 180 weight loss. Awaken 180 works no matter your age or weight number. How about 40 by 40, 60 by 60? Heck, you could be aiming for 80 by 80. And I'm just one of the 23,000 other clients who are proof. Here's the kicker. I'm still eating throughout the day. No starvation, no guilt. So I'm not just losing weight, I'm actually eating my way to it. With my Newton Awaken 180 coaches' support, there's no way I can fail, and they will not fail you either. Seriously, if I can do it in my line of work, anybody can do it. So what's your number? 10, 20, 40? Let's do it together with my solution for weight loss, thanks to Awaken 180 Weight Loss. Online at awaken180weightloss.com.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid.
Hold on a minute.
Scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-575-6481. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS. Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start. Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems. We have over 1,000 five-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau. You don't need to be afraid of the IRS
Michael
any
A. and Michael
longer.
B.
End
I
your
freaking
tax
hate
nightmare
you both.
today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call 800-575-6481. That's 800-575-6481. Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
You're listening to Reese on the Radio, filling in today for Todd Feinberg on WTIC News Talk 1080.
Whatever you do, folks, just join the chat room if you get a chance. I know a lot of you are at work. I know a lot of you are driving in the car, but if you can ever join the chat room, Michael A. and Michael B., the worst people in the world in the chat room. They are so vicious. They're having a conversation about Nancy Pelosi that is not ready for prime time, but it is hilarious nonetheless. I love a good joke, but these guys, they get me. They're the worst. I don't ever want to find myself at a bar with these two. I drink. I would. That's how much of a mess it would be. Let's take a call real quick. Ralph is in South Carolina. How you doing, Ralph? The abortion debate, a part of the abortion debate last night, was something I know you found intriguing. Wasn't that a mess?
Absolutely. But the thing, too, now they're talking about the state laws, Reese, as far as abortion goes. And apparently there are some things that have to be corrected.
Right.
When you get this 1 in 10,000 occurrence or whatever it happens to be. So obviously it's easy enough, I think, for those state legislatures to correct that.
Right.
And so as far as the rest of it goes, okay, it's a blemish that's got to be corrected. Let's correct it to make sure it doesn't happen again.
Yeah.
But again, as we talk,
go ahead. I'm listening. No, I'm listening.
Well, you were talking about that woman who was shaking her head.
Yeah, I mean, you saw her when she was rolling her eyes as Scott Jennings says, look, I'm just standing up for the people who are the most vulnerable. And she's rolling her eyes because she doesn't care. She doesn't care about those children.
Well, let me ask you a question, too. What person said that a fetus is not a baby? Who made that decision?
I don't know. I have no idea. And I'm still trying to figure out who does, because fetus is Latin for offspring, isn't it?
I don't know. I really couldn't say it. But I know that when you say fetus, and, you know, that's the Democrats, that's what they use. Well, it's not a baby, it's a fetus.
It's a fetus,
well,
right.
Yeah, okay, whoopee. That's not saying ground beef isn't a meatball. I mean, come on, let's go.
My favorite line, you should, I know I said this to you before, but you've got to watch that bit with Bill Burr where he talks about the baking a cake. And he compares it to, you know, the argument. He goes, you know, I get it. You know, it's your right, your choice, your body. And he goes, but the idea about conception, he goes, if I put a cake inside the oven, and 5 minutes after I put it into the oven, you go into the oven, you grab the cake, and you throw it across the floor. And I say, hey, what'd you do with my cake? And the guy says, well, there wasn't a cake yet. I was like, yeah, because you didn't give it an opportunity to bake. It doesn't mean it's no longer a cake, you know. And I think, you know, it would have been a cake, you know, but you think that it's no longer a cake because you destroyed it before it could be, you know, before it could get cooked. And so I think that's the best argument. And when he makes that, people get ticked off, but that's the truth. You know, when somebody tells me, oh, it's not a baby, it's just a glob of cells. I'm like, moron, you were a glob of cells.
Exactly, Reese, but also, and I've said it before, and I'll say it again, aren't you glad your mother didn't have one?
That's right. That's exactly right. Thank you, Ralph, and thank you for holding. Let's get into another check of... Yeah, let's get into another check of the traffic with our friend Mark Christopher in the BPS Traffic Center.
Hey, Reese, thank you very much. Good afternoon to you, and good afternoon, everyone. Well, if you're heading into Hartford right now, And you're on the southbound side of I-91. You got delays 33 down to 32, again 27 to 28. More slow traffic 20 in Middletown down to 17 for the Wilbur Cross Parkway. Northbound 91, that looks good. Cromwell through downtown up into Windsor. Westbound 84 tied up 56 Governor Street to 47 Sigourney. 84 eastbound. You're on the brakes about a half mile before 46 Sisson Avenue into the tunnel. 2 eastbound slowing off of I-84 out to exit 5C. 2 westbound slows exit 4 to the 84 West merge in East Hartford. 9 northbound is heavy approaching Harbor Park up toward the Aragoni Bridge. If you're heading toward Waterbury, just a slight slowdown, 84 westbound as you approach the Mixmaster. 84 eastbound in Southbury. Look out for an accident between exit 15 and 16 on the eastbound side of 84. You got delays back to the Rochambeau Bridge behind that. 84 eastbound in Danbury slowing 3 to 5. And 84 eastbound in Danbury slowing again 8 to 9 into Newtown. If you're traveling southbound on the Parkway, a little slow between 60 and the West Rock. 95 southbound New Haven slows 46 down to exit 44. Traffic and weather together on the 8th WTIC News Talk 1080.
WTIC weather.
All right, as we head through tonight, it'll be partly cloudy, a mild but comfortable night with the low down to 53. Then a beautiful day for Thursday. In fact, great weather right into and through the weekend. Thursday, a partly sunny day, the high 75. Friday, watch for some areas of fog in the morning. Might snare up traffic a little bit in spots. Partly sunny in the afternoon, though, the high 76. Saturday, some clouds and sunshine, the high 75. Mostly sunny, beautiful day on Sunday, the high of 70. Monday, cloudy much of the time with some showers around, the high back to 70, and mostly sunny Tuesday, cooler, the high only 62 for us. So get ready for that. Right now, 63 in Waterbury, New London at 64, Hartford at 68. I'm meteorologist Jason Caterina in the WTIC Weather Center.
Hi, this is Eric Hogarth from Money Wisdom. Tune in this week and every week to gain a better understanding of taxes, retirement income, and long-term care. The Money Wisdom, Saturdays at 8:30 on WTIC News Talk 1080.
Join us this Sunday for Tumulo Financial, your go-to for retirement planning and taxes. Tune in to the father and son duo from 7 a.m. to 8 a.m. or catch the replay from 5 to 6 p.m. Tumulo Financial Retirement Planning with Integrity on WTIC News Talk 1080.
Hi, I'm Brian Kilmeade. I am so excited to be on WTIC right here in Hartford, Connecticut. I'll be bringing all the breaking news with perspective, give you an idea what's happening, not only the election, but beyond, the things that matter to you on a daily basis. I promise to bring you the best guests, the most insight, and the most prepared. Fresh off Fox and Friends, I come up to do the Brian Kilmeade Show here on Fox News. Make sure you join me on WTIC. Hello, Connecticut. I hope I never have to say goodbye.
Hi, Dave Berger from Modern Plumbing Supply. Today, everyone turns to the internet to search for things, but the number one thing you can never find online is great customer service. Well, your search is over with a visit to Modern Plumbing. Whether you're building or remodeling, you're going to have questions. So why not shop where you can get the knowledge you've been craving? Great pricing, great selections, and most importantly, great customer service. Modern Plumbing, showroom and parts counter on the Berlin Turnpike in Berlin.
Great design with you in mind. Modern Plumbing Supply.
When was the last time you...
Hold on a minute.
Disasters strike unexpectedly. Every year, American families lose the one thing they'd run back into a burning building for, their family's memories. Hi, I'm Nick. And I'm Adam. We started Legacy Box to help save your family's most important recorded moments so you don't have to worry. Load Legacy Box with your old movies, film reels, and shoeboxes of photos. We work our digitizing magic, converting those memories right to the cloud so they're safe and accessible forever. It's fast, we always send your originals back, and it's done right here in the USA. Over 1 million families have trusted Legacy Box. Better Homes and Garden, Real Simple, and Inc. magazine are all talking about Legacy Box. New York Times columnist David Pogue says, have them digitized. I wish I'd done it sooner. Take action. Save your family's memories today with Legacy Box. Go to legacybox.com/value to get an incredible 50% off your Legacy Box. That's legacybox.com/value for 50% off while supplies last. legacybox.com/value.
It is your girl Cammie. And I want you to know that when I listen to the radio, okay, I listen to Reese on the radio.
I don't know if you've heard this story, and I don't even know if people are making a big deal out of it, but Doug Emhoff, the husband, the second gentleman, I guess is what he's called, Kamala Harris's husband, Doug Emhoff, has got himself into a little bit of hot water again. It's not really new hot water. It's just old hot water that's now sort of resurfaced or surfaced for that matter, if you've heard the story. So we had the one story where Emhoff's first wife, they ended up getting a divorce because he slept with and had a child with the au pair. Did she have the child? I think maybe she had an abortion. I don't know. Nonetheless, he got the au pair pregnant. Had an affair. But now there's another story coming out about Doug Emhoff that says that his ex-girlfriend was with him at a film festival, Cannes Film Festival. And while they were online at the valet waiting for a vehicle or a taxi or whatever the case may be, it may have been in the middle of a dispute that he slapped his then girlfriend. To make matters worse, he not only slapped her, but according to reports from witnesses who were there, he slapped the young lady so hard that she spun around. And there was said that apparently he had a lot to drink, according to people there. It said, my impression is that he had a lot to drink. She was sobbing on the phone afterwards, but she wasn't slurring her words. She told me that she broke up with him that night. The UK Daily Mail, which reported this story, has not identified the alleged victim. She's a New York attorney. In order to protect her privacy, they instead referred to her by the pseudonym Jane. The second friend was also informed by Jane about the incident at the time as well. The third friend told the DailyMail.com that Jane recounted the full story of his alleged abuse in 2018. This, of course, was at the time when Senator Kamala Harris was going after Supreme Court Justice Brett Kavanaugh for his so-called alleged assault of Christine Blasey Ford. Irony. To back up her claims of Emhoff's relationship and the trip, friends provided the UK Daily Mail with a copy of Emhoff and Jane's itinerary, which showed a layover flight from Newark, New Jersey to Nice, France in May of 2012. They also provided the outlet with an email Jane wrote, which gave out the location of the hotel she and Emhoff stayed during the Cannes Film Festival trip. So all of that is there. Well, is it a big deal? I don't know if it's a big deal, but remember, all of this stuff, as far as the media is concerned, is about image. They are trying to sell this idea that, the Harris campaign and Democrats altogether are courting men, manly men, real men, who put tampons in boys' bathrooms. I don't know. What they have a weird view on men, okay? Let's just get that out of the way, all right? They believe in, sex change operations for teenagers who are confused about their sexuality. If this is what real men are, maybe I'm out of touch. Maybe I'm just old, antiquated. I'm Neanderthal. But so far, if we get this correct, just if we're keeping score, because I think it's important to keep score, a real man, according to a Democrat, will let their daughters compete against biological men in sports. That's a real dad. Is that a girl dad? Is that a girl dad? I'm just learning. I'm new at this. Also, they believe in putting tampons in little boys' bathrooms. And what's the other thing? Oh, yes. You can slap your woman right at the valet. Don't wait until it's private, maybe at the hotel room where nobody can. No, do it up in public, right in the mug. Yep, absolutely. Oh, and don't forget, do it so hard that she spins around. She does a nice 180. Don't forget about that. These are what real men are in the Democrat Party. You guys are going to do gangbusters in November. Can't wait. Incredible work. Like I said, I don't know what to make most of this, but I look at it and I just kind of go, I'm so happy that this is all coming out. They're just who they are, what they believe in. Real men kill their babies. They don't have any responsibility. There's no accountability. They don't live up to any standards. They're all beta males that think that women can do the same thing that men can do. As Bill Burr says, they're in the kitchen with an apron on cooking something. Real men, real Democrat men. James is in Newington. How you doing, James?
Hey there. I just want to pick up Reese right on what you're saying about our Coach Walls.
Oh yeah.
Now, if he's gonna identify himself as a coach, and with the idea of what that means, since I have been a coach for young men, then let's mention that in addition to the time that he was, quote, the assistant on the championship football team, the following year he actually became a real head coach. He became the real head coach of the freshman boys football team. The only problem is, Reese, it only lasted 2 weeks because he got a DWI.
Wow.
While intoxicated and lost his job. Now, this is what I don't understand is how we don't have people stand up heavy hitting wise. And I know that would probably have been a real tough blow for JD to land.
Right.
But if you're going to call yourself a coach, which implies you're a stand-up person who young men can look up to, or young women, depending on the situation,
Right.
then you better be able to walk the walk and not just talk the talk. What do you think?
I couldn't agree with you more, James. I think that, listen to me, I love letting you cook, my friend. My friend was cooking with grease. In fact, I'm going to go one step further, my friend. You were cooking with everything, as far as I'm concerned, Crisco too. That was beautiful.
Sounds great. Have a great day.
Thank you, James. Look, and again, I only bring this up because there's another person. Now, I don't know if you know this, folks. You may be new to the show, and that's fine. If you are new to the show, I have a couple of phrases that I use, right? And one of those phrases I use, or terms that I use for certain individuals, are the crying Negro brothers. Are you familiar with them? Well, folks, I tell you, we have a new member. If you're not familiar with them, if you're not familiar with the Crying Negro brothers, original members of the Crying Negro crew is Van Jones of CNN, who for some odd reason he is brought on to the network to cry. On cue. Van, would you like to cry about something? He does it in a heartbeat. Hey, say something about Joe Biden leaving the race. Hey, say something about Joe Biden winning the election in 2020. That's what he does. And the other person, the other Crying Negro brother, they're not twins, and they don't have to be related. They're just brothers. And I mean brothers with BROVAS, brothers. The other one is Bakari Sellers. He likes to cry about anything racial. Michael Brown, Trayvon Martin, George Floyd, everything. He cries about it. If it's right, they will cry. Well, we have a new member. And it's Eddie Glad. I think that's how you pronounce his name. I think he's never glad. He's crying. He's really, really crying. And I'm not understanding this. Folks, what is it with the brothers wanting to cry in front of women? Why are you crying in front of women? I would know. Is this what the Democrat Party thinks is manly? Listen to this. This is sad.
So it took historic numbers to beat him, right? And so now we get enamored with the Dick Cheneys and the Liz Cheneys and the Flakes and the da-da-da-da, right? And this man is running around here busting his chops, scaring the hell out of communities, right? And we're trying to figure out how to keep that middle, locked in on her when she needs to bust him in his mouth. I'm saying it like that because he's dangerous.
He's scared of the evil white man. He's so scared that evil white man's gonna come and get us. You better lock your doors, get in your cellars. That evil white man, Donald Trump, go get all of y'all. Now go on, get on down there, Jed. Get on down there.
He's dangerous to particular people. And the history of the country is such that we can't play fast and loose with it. But isn't it incumbent on all of us to protect the people who are in danger by him? But you never have. That's the rub. You never have.
Y'all ain't never protected us. Y'all ain't protect us from the evil white. That white man's gonna get us all. We can't get him elected. We all in danger. We're in danger, I'll tell you.
And so part of what we have to do in the midst of this is to engage in a deep-seated political calculus, right? Even though we know that she has to get the middle, we got to come out and try to figure out how to turn out in large historic numbers, because we got to keep this troglodyte out of office. Because if he comes in, our babies are going to be in danger. Because remember, those young children are going to grow up with the memory of having to not go to school for the threat of bombs.
What this man is telling you is that if Donald Trump is elected, he will not be able to protect the babies. Well, why do you think that Eddie Glad here will not be able to protect the babies? He don't care about the babies. He can't protect the babies. He thinks that electing a man to be president of the United States puts babies in danger. And if the man gets elected, Eddie Glad's not going to stand. He's not going to stand in front of those babies. He's not going to stand guard and protect those babies with his own body, with his own life and limb. He won't, because he can't. He ain't never ever stood up for no babies. In the same breath that he's so worried about the babies, he's sitting up here fighting for the right for women to kill their babies. Talking out both sides of his mouth. Negro, please. That white man gonna come in there, he gonna get us.
And somebody told them that their moms and dads eat cats, they eat cats and dogs. I'll get myself together, Claire.
Okay, take a minute. Deep breaths.
So
Jesus. I can't. As a man, I can't watch that on television. Sitting there in front of women crying. He was the only man on that dais. On Nicole Wallace's show. And those women are looking at him, just going, look at him, he's so vulnerable. Get out of here. Screaming and hollering about him. He's so scared to death. He is, you think Donald Trump was the evil man in the closet. Where does he think he is? He's on television with this display. I understand the sky is falling scenario, but when we got grown black men on television crying about babies that they will never, ever protect and don't seem to protect on any other circumstances, where's Eddie Glad protecting them poor babies in Chicago and every other inner city who get killed in a drive-by shooting? Where's his protection of those babies? We got to stop the white man. We got to stop Whitey. Evil whites. And the white women sitting there going, you're right. You're absolutely right. Calm down. Take a beat. Can somebody get him some Kool-Aid? Water. Water. I'm sorry. I don't mean to offend. Unless you'd like some Kool-Aid. Grape? I'm sorry. I'm not supposed to do that. I seem cruel. I don't mean to, but this is laughable and it's insulting to watch this as a man. These people, these guys are respected in these spaces. They are respected, and they kowtow to these folks on television and then call others the sellout. It's embarrassing. I can't. Back in the day, and I don't. It's gonna sound like I'm being. It sounds like I'm being over the top for the sake of being over the top. I'm not. But just let me lay out this scenario like this. If we were a bunch of guys hanging out at a club or hanging out at the bar or whatever guys may do. Let's say we're at the pool hall. And guys, guys listening to me right now, that if your friend started blubbering like this about whatever the case was, who would have been the first person to slap him? Not in a violent way, not slapping him like Doug Emhoff apparently does, but you know what I mean? Just somebody who's just sort of like, hey, snap out of it. What are you doing? Get yourself together. Somebody get him a beer and a shot. Just get this guy, sit over there for a little bit, get yourself together. Jeez, this guy. Do you see the girls looking at us? I'm just saying, this is the guy that you got to knock some sense in. You'd have popped him in. Hey, get it together. She divorces you. She leaves you for another guy. You get over it, buddy. All right, we're going to the strip club after. That's how guys are. What happened to men, Mark Christopher, to BPS Traffic Center? Where are all the men?
I don't know. I guess it's we don't have testosterone anymore.
Oh, yeah, we're
losing. Low
losing.
T.
Great deal of that is being lost. You know what? Now that I'm thinking about it, I'm going to go grab some testosterone now. I think I've got a fifth of it in the car.
Oh, there you go. Do a quick shot of that. You'll be ready to go between 5 and 6 today. It's going to get, it'll be very exciting between 5 and 6. Hey, if you're heading into downtown Hartford right now, you've got delays from 44 Prospect Oakwood, and it's tight right down into the tunnel. Westbound 84 is tied up from 56 Governor Street out to 45 Flatbush Avenue. Southbound 91 delays 33 to 32. Again, 27 down to 28. If you're heading down into Middletown, you'll see slow traffic again just after exit 20, Country Club Road down to 17 in Meriden. Northbound 91 looks good. Cromwell through downtown up into Windsor. 291, 384 okay. So the River 2 westbound slowing exit 4 to the 84 West merge. 9 northbound delays approaching Harbor Park to the Aragodi Bridge. 9 northbound in Berlin got slow traffic 31 up to exit 34 in New Britain. If you're traveling 84 westbound in Waterbury, some slow traffic by 25 again, 22 to the Mixmaster. 84 eastbound in Newtown, you got slow traffic from exit 10 out to between exit 15 and 16. Looks like an accident out there in Southbury on the eastbound side of 84, so look out for that. If you are traveling 84 eastbound in Danbury, you've got delays from exit 3 out to exit 5. Southbound Parkway slowing 60 toward the West Rock Tunnel, and 95 South New Haven tight 46 to 44. Traffic and weather together on the 8s, WTIC News Talk 1080.
If you're experiencing low energy, brain fog, or bloating, then your body might need a detox. Active Liver from New Nordic makes it easy to detox your body all year long without major changes to your diet or lifestyle. Active Liver is available in stores at CVS or online at Amazon.
WTIC weather.
For the rest of our Wednesday afternoon, it remains mostly cloudy and pleasant, the high of 70. Tonight, under partly cloudy skies, it'll be mild but comfy with a low down to 53. Then Thursday, partly sunny, a delightful day. A nice light breeze out of the south-southwest and the high of 75. Watch for some areas of fog in the morning on Friday. Otherwise, a partly sunny and beautiful day to round out the week with the high of 76. I'm meteorologist Jason Caterina in the WTIC Weather Center.
WTIC is 99 and throwing a year-long celebration to 100 years on the air. This is WTIC and WTIC FM HD2 Hartford. Always live on the free Odyssey app.
It's 5 o'clock. Good afternoon. I'm John Silva. WTIC 1080 News. Partly cloudy, 68 degrees. The temperature in Hartford. The judge in the federal election interference case against former President Donald Trump has unsealed new evidence from special counsel Jack Smith. Trump and his attorneys have opposed the judge unsealing the filing. Smith filed a new motion in the case after the Supreme Court ruled that Trump is immune from official acts committed as president. He's facing 4 charges in the case, including conspiracy to defraud the U.S. stemming from the January 6th Capitol riot. Former federal prosecutor, Loyola law professor, and CBS legal analyst Lori Levinson.
He was reaching out to states and others to find ways to basically not have to give up power. And at the time he did it, he knew it was a fraud. Those are the allegations that are set forth, and this is a proffer, an offer of facts by the special counsel as to why Donald Trump should not have immunity.
Trump has pleaded not guilty. East Haven police have arrested a man in connection with an attack on a pregnant woman during an attempted carjacking Tuesday at a fast food restaurant. Here's WTIC's Morgan Cunningham.
Police say the suspect, 28-year-old William Rodriguez of New Haven, was parked in a stolen vehicle at the Dunkin' on Foxen Road about 7:45 last night. When a woman pulled up behind Rodriguez at the drive-through window, he got out of the vehicle he was in and entered hers through the passenger side door. Rodriguez allegedly demanded she get out of the vehicle, and when she didn't, he began punching her. She ran inside to get help, and 2 employees ran out of the Dunkin', confronted Rodriguez, and held him to the ground until police could get there. He bid a medic after a struggle with police. Rodriguez is charged with a number of offenses, including assault on a pregnant person. Bond is $250,000 in that case, and Rodriguez is now facing charges in 2 outstanding state police arrest warrants. Morgan Cunningham, WTIC 1080 News.
Shelters have been set up throughout the areas impacted most by Hurricane Helene.
We're providing food, healthy, warm meals to eat, clean drinking water,
and comfort.
Evan Peterson is with the American Red Cross.
For many of these people, they aren't able to return home because their communities are inaccessible.
And he says for many of those who have been able to go home,
They have found that their home isn't there anymore and they have to come back to us.
and sadly, he says the cleanup will take longer than just days or weeks.
This is going to be months or longer.
Stacey Lynn, CBS News.
President Biden is in North Carolina and Vice President Harris in Georgia today to survey the damage. Numerous companies have been changing their work assignments from allowing hybrid or all remote work to being back in the office 5 days a week. Pratt & Whitney among the companies in Connecticut making that shift. Quinnipiac University psychology professor Carrie Bulger explains there are pros and cons to remote and in-office work environments.
It isn't as easy to go hang out by a water cooler when there's no water cooler, right? So you can't chit-chat and have that really important social dynamic. But in terms of collaboration and teamwork, that absolutely can happen remotely. I mean, organizations have been doing that for decades, even before COVID.
A lot of worries about product shortages. Day 2 of the dock workers' strike in ports from New England to Texas. Kevin Perdot is worried he may run out of coffee beans to roast for his shop in New Orleans.
If we're not replenishing that supply and if supply dwindles, I could not have coffee to roast for my coffee shops or my customers.
Dow up 39 points today on Wall Street. NASDAQ gained 14. S&P was up a point. For these stories and more, go to WTIC.com. I'm John Silva, WTIC 1080 News.
Whoa, a minute.
CAM, an equal opportunity employer, is dedicated to providing broad outreach regarding job vacancies at our station. We seek the help of local community organizations in referring qualified applicants to our station. Community organizations that wish to receive our vacancy information should call Stephanie Gragan at 804-474-0010. In addition, all listeners are encouraged to visit Odyssey.com for an online listing of job openings at all Odyssey radio stations.
Are you tired of spending a fortune on new frames every time your prescription changes? At Lenses Only Optical Centers, you don't have to. You can save hundreds of dollars by simply getting new lenses in your existing frames. So why break the bank on new frames? Come to Lenses Only Optical Centers where we can help you see better and save big with top quality lenses. Visit us today in Avon, Bloomfield, Torrington, Wethersfield, and now Plainville.
Here we go.
Online at lensesonlyoptical.com.
You're listening to Reese on the Radio, filling in today for Todd Feinberg on WTIC News Talk 1080.
It's the 5 o'clock focus. It's the 5 o'clock focus.
I'm focused, man.
5 o'clock focus for today is a good one. Now, earlier I was talking about how J.D. Vance has impressed me enough that I would say that MAGA is in good hands. Should Donald Trump again win, finish out his term, and then, of course, endorse J.D. Vance to run for president thereafter, right? I think he'd have something to stand on, and I think he would be able to ensure that MAGA moved on, grew. Pretty much the antithesis of what Herbert Walker Bush did in the, to the Reagan era. He pretty much dismantled it. But I had one problem with J.D. Vance, and it was superficial. I don't like facial hair on my candidates. I just don't. I hate to say it's unheard of, but it doesn't work with me, right? It's not that he doesn't look like a serious politician, but when running for president, I think there is a certain degree, there's a look that you have to have. Check out this poll from YouGov. In a survey of 10,000 U.S. adults, how important is it do you think a man's physical appearance to his chances of winning an election are? 15, very important. 37, somewhat important. 21, not very important. 17, not at all important. Do you think if J.D. Vance were to run for office, he should shave and be clean shaved? Like, do you believe that that actually adds to his appeal? Do you think that the beard and the goatee look actually takes away from him? Do you think it's important for him to look clean shaven? Again, that's just me. I don't remember one. If somebody can recall one, I'm pretty sure there are some, was it Lincoln? Lincoln had a little goatee. Did he? No, I don't know. Just there are some people I know who've had facial hair, but I believe that as a president of the United States, you shouldn't have it. And as I was looking at it, I was going, I really, really like this message, but there has to be an appeal. There has to be a visual appeal to you as a politician. For women, the survey said something else. We'll get into that a little bit as well. But your phone calls. Should J.D. Vance possibly shave the beard and mustache? Did you watch the debate at all, Mark Christopher, in the BPS Traffic Center?
No, I watched the end of the Mets game, and then I started watching the Atlanta game, the Atlanta-San Diego game.
But you must have an opinion on facial hair for a presidential candidate, right? Does it matter?
Really not to me. I don't care.
No? Okay, so you would be...
I care more about the content.
Okay, so you don't so you don't believe that there's sort of like a visual appeal that people have.
There could be. I'm not sure about that. For me personally, it doesn't matter to me.
Okay. Well, so you're not superficial. Me, I'm maybe a little too superficial.
I shave every like 3 or 4 days, depending if I have to be in front of people. Because if I don't, I'll start to look like Santa Claus.
Oh, really?
It's pretty white, so yeah.
Yeah, and it's funny because I have a beard now, and now I don't think I can ever shave it. And I was never a fan of beards. So, but I don't know. It's just
I don't know.
interesting.
I've had a mustache.
Uh-huh.
Of course, it wasn't a Tom Selleck mustache. It was like more of like a
like Peach Fuzz
porn star mustache. Yeah. It looked but that was like in the 80s and early 90s. But,
oh, okay. I guess you're going to have one then.
Once it started turning gray, I was like, yeah, this has got to go. This has got to go.
All right. I was just wondering. Thank you, man.
Yeah. All right. Anytime. If you're heading into Hartford right now, southbound side of I-91.
You worrying about the wrong things, man.
I'm not worried about it.
What are we talking about here?
Listen, people find it important.
Women love beards, and that's all he need to be worried about.
Yeah,
that's the vote. That's the vote he needs.
That's the vote, right?
45 Flatbush Avenue, 84 eastbound delays a half mile before 46 Sisson Avenue into the tunnel. 2 westbound slows from exit 4 to the 84 west merge. 291 through 84. That looks good east of the river. Heading into Middletown, 9 northbound slowing Harbor Park to the Aragoni Bridge. Also a little tight 9 northbound from 31 in Berlin up to exit 34. In New Britain on the northbound side of Route 9. 84 eastbound type I-18. 84 westbound a little slow as you move from 25A up to 25. And again, westbound 84 a little slow by exit 22 heading into the Mixmaster. 84 eastbound in Danbury slowing 3 to 5. 84 eastbound in Newtown delays 10. Up to, it looks like it's pretty heavy up to exit 15 in Southbury. It looks like that earlier accident between 15 and 16 has been cleared. And South 95 New Haven tight from 46 down to 44. Traffic and weather together on the 8th WTIC News Talk 1080.
WTIC.
Well, as we head through the evening hours, we're going to find partly cloudy skies. It'll be quite pleasant for us, though, as we make our way through the next couple of days. Good-looking weather here for early fall. Tonight, it'll be partly cloudy and comfortable with the low down to 53. A beautiful day for Thursday. Partly sunny, the high up to 76 with a light breeze out of the south-southwest. And Friday, watch for some areas of fog in the morning. May snare up the commuting spots. Otherwise, it'll be partly sunny and beautiful with the high back to 76 again. Saturday, another pleasant day. Some clouds to start, then some sunshine, the high of 75. Mostly sunny, comfortable Sunday, though a little cooler, the high of 70. And Monday, cloudy much of the time with some showers. Make sure you take your umbrella. The high on Monday back to 70 degrees. Right now, Danbury 64, Mansfield at 66, Hartford 68. I'm meteorologist Jason Kennedy.
Do I have at least 2 minutes?
WTIC Weather Center.
Remember?
Yeah, you got 3.
In contest rules, go to WTIC.com/rules.
If you're hearing this commercial, chances are you're less than 20 minutes away from the closest Awaken 180, a once-a-week lunch break, a quick stop on the way from work, minutes away from proven weekly weight loss. Awaken180weightloss.com.
The days are shorter and the temperature is starting to drop. Remember, the local weather information you need is right here on WTIC News Talk 1080. Accurate local weather information with Bob Cox and the WTIC weather team. Weekday mornings and afternoons on the 8th and around the clock. The local fall weather information you need is on WTIC News Talk 1080. Listen on your radio, your smart speaker, or on the free Odyssey app.
Hi, I'm Joe with SimpleSaleUSA.com, and I buy houses cash. If you own a house and want to sell it fast at a fair price, call me at 203-896-4000. I can pay cash and close in as little as 7 days. I buy houses in any condition, any price range, and more importantly, anywhere in Connecticut. I'm a private real estate investor who buys several houses a month, and I want to buy more. I buy inherited houses, divorce houses, behind in payment houses. I even buy my tenant won't pay me the rent houses. Do you own a house that is trash and needs thousands of dollars in repairs? Great, because I love buying junk houses. I buy vacant houses, abandoned houses, condemned houses, and even foreclosure houses. If you own a house and want to sell it fast, call me at 203-896-4000. That's 203-896-4000. 203-896-4000.
This is Carson Daly, and on behalf of Dr. Alfie, Katie Neal, and all of our guests, I want to thank you for joining us for I'm Listening, Odyssey's mental health initiative. Our goal is to open our minds and hearts to more mental health conversations, because talk saves lives. If you missed the special or want to hear it again, you can find it at imlistening.org and on the free Odyssey app. That's AUDACY. For more resources on your mental health journey, please visit imlistening.org. Thanks again.
I'm Listening on WTIC News Talk 1080 was sponsored by Amplify.
When was the last time you watched your home movies? Disasters strike unexpectedly. Every year, American families lose the one thing they'd run back into a burning building for, their family's memories. Hi, I'm Nick.
And I'm Adam. We started Legacy Box to help save your family's most important recorded moments so you don't have to worry.
Load Legacy Box with your old movies, film reels, and shoeboxes of photos.
We work our
Nothing on the
digitizing
phone yet?
magic, converting those memories right to the cloud so they're safe and accessible forever.
It's fast.
What happened?
Always send your
Nothing
originals
on the
back,
phones
and
yet?
it's done right here in the USA.
Oh, yeah, you have
Legacy Box. Better homes and gardens
Mike from Plainville, looks like.
are all talking about Legacy Box.
New York Times columnist David Pogue says, have them digitized. I wish I'd done it sooner. Take action. Save your family's memories today with Legacy Box.
Go to legacybox.com/value to get an incredible 50% off your Legacy Box. That's legacybox.com/value for 50% off while supplies last. legacybox.com/value.
The 5 o'clock focus. It's the 5 o'clock focus.
I'm focused, man. Oh, little Biggie Smalls, no doubt. Reese on the Radio, News Talk, 10 o'clock. News Talk 1080, WTIC, 10 o'clock. What the heck was that? Now, folks, hear me out. Listen to what I'm trying to tell you here, okay? This was a survey of over 10,000 people, just over. The not sures on both of these polls by you.gov or yougov.com, 11% said not sure for men, and 10% said not sure for women. What also was interesting about this poll, let me get my numbers up. It says, how important do you think a man's physical appearance is to his chances of winning an election? According to this survey, 52% said it was somewhat or very important for men. Again, 52% said it was somewhat or very important for men. 37 somewhat, 15 very. Not very important, 21. Not at all important, 17. Now, as you heard, Mark Christopher is in that group. 11% said not sure. How important do you think a woman's physical appearance is to her chances of winning an election? 22% said very important. 36% said somewhat important. 17 not very. 10% not sure. But they did not say not at all important in the women's survey. They didn't. No, not at all. Didn't even show up on this because it was too small to gauge. Not very important was the only thing. No, not at all. 10% said not sure. That is a total of 58% finding it somewhat or very important. And the only reason why I'm saying this is because, again, I liked J.D. Vance. But, again, I'm an analyst. This is what I do. And I've got to look at all factors. And sometimes, and people say it's silly, right? But there are certain things that people care about in this scope. Let me give you an example. This sounds crazy. While everyone was raving about the civility of the debate last night, Ed Gordon of CBS News said this. And I kid you not, Ed Gordon, who used to be on BET News. Yeah, that was a joke. It's an oxymoron, actually. He said this about Democrats and the civility last night.
I think the civility that we saw tonight may be a mistake by Democrats, quite frankly. I talked at the outset of energizing this base. I was just in Ohio, and many Democrats were livid about what's going on in Springfield. I think Waltz missed an opportunity to really push the racial insensitivity there. There was a sense of trying to be affable, as John said. And I think what we're going to see from this point on is the civility being laid aside. And as we've said, from this point on, gloves are off, I think.
Ed Gordon saying that in order for Democrats to win, they need to be volatile. So again, that sounds crazy, right? So these little silly things matter in an election. But I'm taking your calls. I just want to hear what you think and whether or not I was off base. Let's go to Mike. Mike is in Plainville. How are you, Mike?
When they were doing a survey for women, did they include the term catatonic to apply to certain candidates? I'm telling you.
No.
Oh, my God.
I know this sounds silly, right? But you know what? Remember the old saying that the reason why they liked George W. Bush because he was the kind of guy you can have a beer with? I've always hated that. But it does kind of matter. Yeah. You know what? To me, personally, I think he looks... The beard looks good. It's one thing to have a beard and not have it manicured or barbered properly, but he looks good with it. That shouldn't be a problem. Okay. All right. No. Like I said,
that's not an issue.
Right.
Anybody that has an issue with that, they don't.
They're probably low information voters.
Now, if you wanted to see a mustache on my face, you'd have to go to one of my cinematic wonders. I figured I'd throw that in.
I believe you, sir. Again, like I said, it is Look, I don't remember a candidate who was ever in a debate with facial hair, and I've been trying to dislodge my memory in some way to sort of like digging deep to find out has there been one ever that maybe I'm missing something in modern elections?
Who came up with this survey about the beard?
YouGov.
Where did this originate?
YouGov.
Where?
YouGov. 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 They're pretty popular.
Oh
They do polling with CBS often and Yahoo.
You know what? Can I make one more comment?
Yes,
about,
sir.
We have so much going on now, and now we have the strike.
Yeah.
We got floods. We've got product shortages. We've got corruption. We have an election coming up. We have illegals.
Yeah.
We have a war that could get worse in the Middle East. We have inflation. This strike may be the straw that broke the camel's back.
I think it's when it rains, it pours. I think you're right.
If this can't go on long, you're gonna see. I'm telling you, people are really getting impatient. If they can't get their coffee or their booze, they're gonna flip out.
Costco is already reporting. I just saw this earlier today. Costco has said the lines are out of this world. People are already starting to grab up their rations, if you will. To prepare for the worst. So yeah, my wife did the same thing. She started Instacarting, and they had no paper towels or toilet paper. I don't know why people buy them all the time, but I guess they do. Thank you, buddy.
I wanted to thank you for spending time with me.
My pleasure, Mike. Always, sir. Always. I appreciate you, Patty. What's going on, Patty? Do you think this matters? I know this sounds silly. I know. I know it's superficial, but I thought it was interesting when I saw this poll.
I think you only get one chance to make a first impression.
Right.
I think he's enormously meticulous. I think he's neat as a pin. Everything about him is very refined. Everything about his speech, his demeanor, how he chooses to explain things. I think he looks great with it. I think it's between him and his wife. There's a lot of people that really, really like it that are young. A lot of young people are wearing it.
Right.
I think he appeals to the young people. I think he gives them hope for the future. And I think that some of the reasons that we don't see people wearing that is because a lot of people running for office were well over 50. So, to be honest with you,
that's a good point, because is he only 40?
I think he is. And I think he's appealing to all types of people right across the board. He's clear, concise, simplifies it. Everybody understands. He tries to be congenial. He does not try to be argumentative. He's willing to debate the issue in a civil manner. He has extensive knowledge of everything he reads. He keeps up with it. So, I think he's exceptional. I think he's an exceptional human being. I think he has enormous character. I think he learned a lot in childhood, and I think he brought all those lessons to life. And he actually has a good heart. I think he's genuine for the American people.
I do too.
He adores his wife. He said he loves her more than anything in the whole world. I think he's very committed. And somewhere in his life, somebody loved him really deeply.
Patty, let me ask you this.
Took care of his mother as an adult.
Patty, let me ask you this. Do you think the case that I made in the opening monologue that, Donald Trump, that the MAGA movement is in good hands should he win this election and J.D. Vance run for election in 2028?
He's a leader.
Yeah.
He's an absolute leader. He pays attention to details. He does his homework. Has extensive knowledge of all the issues. He has the information on the top of his head.
Yep.
He's able to recall it. He's able to explain it to people in a manner everybody can understand. He relates with people. He's likable. He has walked the walk, Reese. Just as yourself.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. That he has.
Yeah, and there's a lot of wisdom. I want to say something else, too. Fred was on earlier today, and he had a poem out there. And I just want to say, if he ever should have any questions about the vaccines or anything, I don't talk a lot about them, but I read at least 2 to 3 hours a day. I am right up to speed on everything.
Oh, Patty, don't listen to me. Thou protest too much. Everybody knows you're well read, my dear.
Oh, no, I just want to let you know. I want to let you know if there's a question out there that people have, throw it out there. If I know the answer, I will respond to it, because I don't talk about it because I think it's been an exhaustive subject. I think it's very upsetting to people who had the injection, who worry. I actually have some good news on that. They have batched the batches, and there's some really good batches that actually have nothing in them. So,
oh, wow.
There's good news. Yeah. So, and they actually did all these studies on them too. But I just want to say to people, I've not forgotten, but I don't want to be that my only topic. But if there's something out there or something that I see coming, I will bring it out. And
you always do. You always do, Patty. We always appreciate you. Thank you, my dear. Let's go to Ken in Marlboro. Hey, Ken.
I'm curious that the statistic you were telling us about the importance of appearance of a candidate.
Yeah.
Does that not apply to Democrats?
No, I don't think. No. I think it applies.
Laurel and Maxine Waters.
No, I think this. First of all, this survey doesn't say anything about a particular party. I think what the poll is supposed to suggest is how important appearance is when the candidate is male or female. What I found interesting is that the number difference is huge. It's a 6-point difference. Men only 52%, women 58% of importance. So the woman at a higher degree must look, their physical appearance is important to their candidacy. So,
Well, then how does Rosa DeLauro keep getting elected?
Well, she may live in a district that has the, 17% not very important and 10% not sure. So she may be able to get by.
Now, flipping back to the debate for a second, I was amazed at how well J.D. Vance did. I wish Trump would take a few pointers from the way J.D. Vance conducted.
Some people said that last night, but you know what? I like the comparison. I think it's a comparison that, J.D. Vance is not supposed to be the guy that sucks all the oxygen out of the room. He's the guy. I don't know if you ever saw that skit on Key and Peele, but remember they had the skit for Obama at the White House Correspondents' Dinner. In fact, they brought Key out to do the angry Obama speech, so Obama would say something, and then the overcharged or overcaffeinated Obama would say what he really thought. I think that's the contrast with J.D. Vance and Donald Trump. Donald Trump goes out there and does what Donald Trump does, and then on the stump, you get J.D. Vance to explain that in an articulate way so that people understand. Look, Donald Trump's going to be Donald Trump. He's been that way for 78 years. Kind of give J.D. Vance an opportunity to go out there and push that same argument without all the bombast, and people are going to get it. And I think that there's a great juxtaposition there.
And I love the way he took the moderators to task.
Yes, that was, oh my God, I stood up. My wife and I were sitting on the bed. When it happened, I jumped out of bed. I went, yes, yes.
It's like that was the most. Everybody was rooting for him in that moment, and he did it because everybody was concerned about whether or not he was going to look sexist or anything like that. He did it. He told them exactly what they said the rules were, and they violated them. And I'm glad that he said something about it. It was brilliant. Thank you, Ken. I appreciate the call. Let's get to the BPS Traffic Center with Mark Christopher. Mark, I cannot believe you didn't watch the debate. With all the politics we talk here on there. No, I'm kidding.
I apologize.
No,
I was actually getting ready to watch Dancing with the Stars because I have to report on that the next day. And I had sitting there with my notebook. And all of a sudden I went, whoa, wait a minute. The vice president.
I won't keep you, but
is on tonight.
wait a minute, isn't one of the Dancing with the Stars wearing an ankle bracelet?
Yeah, she was eliminated last week.
Oh,
so
she
she's
was.
no longer on the show.
Did you watch her Netflix show?
No, but she is a.
She's an incredible. Her story is the wildest story I've ever heard in my entire life. And the Netflix show starred the girl from Ozark.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
It was such an amazing. If you haven't seen it, you got to go check it out. Okay, I'm done. I'm going.
No, but I was getting ready to watch Dancing with the Stars because I have to talk about it. On another station. And then the debate came on, and I'm like, okay, I'm going to watch the end of the Mets game. And then I ended up watching the baseball. I watched the Atlanta Padres game after that.
Oh,
and I fell asleep in about the third inning. So that was my night in a nutshell. If you're heading into Hartford right now, southbound 91 delays 33 to 32. Again, 27 to 28. A little slow, 18 to 17, 91 south of Meriden. Northbound 91 looks good. Cromwell through downtown up into Windsor. Westbound 84 is tied up just after 56 Governor Street into exit 45 Flatbush Avenue. 84 eastbound slowing a mile before 46 Sisson Avenue into the tunnel. 2 eastbounds running a little slow off of I-84 out to 5C in East Hartford. 2 westbound slowing exit 4 to the 84.
John Cougar, you're so right. I saw that picture too.
He looked 9 northbound a little slow, 32 to 34.
He looked like a chubby baby.
Berlin into New Britain. 84 eastbound Waterbury. Some slow traffic 17 to 18. 84 westbound Waterbury slowing at 25 again. 22 into the Mixmaster. 84 eastbound Danbury tight New York Connecticut line to 5. 84 eastbound is slowing again in Newtown 9 up to 11, and more slow traffic approaching 14 to 15 in Southbury on the eastbound side of 84. Southbound Parkway delays 61 to 60. 95 South New Haven slowing 46 to 44. Traffic and weather together on the 8's WTIC News Talk 1080.
WTIC weather.
Well, the rest of our Wednesday afternoon, it remains mostly cloudy and pleasant, the high of 70. Tonight, under partly cloudy skies, it'll be mild but comfy with a low down to 53.
Hey, Craig, if you're in the chat room, I need a size, by the way, for you. What size?
75. Watch for some areas of fog in the morning on Friday. Otherwise, a partly sunny and beautiful day to round out the week with the high of 76. I'm meteorologist Jason Caterina in the WTIC Weather Center.
And now, a WTIC news update.
5:30. Good afternoon. I'm John Silva, WTIC 1080 News. Middletown Police investigating a potential threat. They were called to the high school this afternoon. Officers say most of the kids had already been dismissed for the day, but they searched the building anyway to ensure safety for staff still on hand and students taking part in after-school activities. Schools in East Hampton saw additional security today as well. This after someone called in a report Tuesday of a person with a gun in the middle school, which prompted a district-wide lockdown. That report turned out to be not credible, and the investigation is continuing there. Man under arrest in East Haven, charged with attempting to carjack a pregnant woman from a fast food drive-thru. This occurred Tuesday night at the Dunkin' on Foxen Road. William Rodriguez now charged. Police say he parked his vehicle in front of the victims, got out, entered the victim's car, demanding the keys. 2 male employees inside rushed to her to help her out and held the suspect until police arrived. 8 Israeli soldiers have been killed in Israel's ground incursion into Lebanon to battle Hezbollah. President Biden is in North Carolina, Vice President Harris in Georgia. They're visiting, getting a first-hand look at the damage from Hurricane Helene. 175 deaths have been confirmed. Statewide gun buyback this weekend. It's being held in partnership with police departments and the Newtown Action Alliance. It is the chance to safely remove firearms.
What's the name of
unwanted
Roland?
from
What's the
homes
name
and
of
reduce
the
chances of those guns
psychic company
falling into the wrong hands? Wall Street, the Dow finished points today. The
Damn.
S&P gained a point. MLB wild card, National League action just about to get underway. The Mets and the Brewers in Milwaukee.
California.
California Psychics.
Card.
There you go. There you go.
Thank you.
The Astros 5-2. For these stories and more, go to WTIC.com. I'm John Silva, WTIC 1080 News.
Whether you own a local business or a global one, you know that these days, generating growth is a challenge. By teaming with Bank of America, you'll not just stay ahead of the curve, you'll move it. With access to experts, award-winning insights, and business solutions so powerful, you'll make every move matter, locally and globally. Visit bankofamerica.com/banking for business to learn more. What would you like the power to do? Copyright 2024 Bank of America N.A.
I can't wait for golf this weekend, huh, buddy? Time flies. Love you, man. Oh, don't forget your knee brace again. We aren't in college anymore.
Moments together matter, so help protect yourself from RSV. If you're 75 or older or 60 plus with a chronic condition like asthma, COPD, heart disease, or severe diabetes, you're at higher risk of landing in the hospital from RSV, and there are no prescription RSV treatments. Check eligibility and schedule your RSV vaccine at vaxassist.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
Diabetes, high blood pressure, anxiety meds. If you're a 50-year-old male, maybe a bit porky, and you may even have type 2 diabetes, $1 million of term insurance may only cost you about $200 a month. Call Term Provider. Speak with Big Lou at 800-511-3535. Big Lou will find a term life policy for you even if you have type 2 diabetes, are overweight, or have high blood pressure. Term Provider has helped thousands of people like you who think they can't afford term life insurance. To buy $1 million of affordable term life for you, all you need to do is call Big Lou at 800-511-3535. Lou will make sure the scales are tipped in your favor. Call 800-511-3535. Big Lou will answer your call and work to fit you into a term life policy that... Remember, Big Lou's like you. He's on meds too. Call 800-511-3535, 800-511-3535, or biglou.com.
This is Reese on the Radio, filling in for Todd Feinberg on WTIC News Talk 1080.
It's the 5 o'clock focus.
It's the 5 o'clock focus.
I'm focused, man. For those of you who are just about to get into your homes, I know that you're almost there. You're saying to yourself, well, Reese, you and I have to say goodbye. And I understand. You've been working all day. It's time to get home. Maybe you'll have some stovetop stuffing. I could never say that right. Perhaps some leftovers. It's Wednesday. Many people will be having spaghetti. Did you have spaghetti on Wednesdays growing up? I sure did. In fact, when my wife doesn't make spaghetti on Wednesdays, I get quite upset. Thursdays, salmon usually. But you're about to, go off and, do your thing. But I would ask that you, do one more thing. Go to reasonoradio.com. That's reasonoradio.com. And check out some of the content there. You can always check out the Sunday show if you missed it. It's a lot of the stuff that went on during the week. And, of course, a little bit of prognostication for the week ahead. You can find it always there. Airs immediately after it airs here live on WTIC. You can check that out there. And, of course, you can check out all the other stories of the stupidest thing that I've read. You can go through the entire list. It's sort of our blog, and it's just links. It's an aggregate of all of the stories that I've read during the day. I actually search these stories for you and seek them out so that I can bring them to your attention. So check that out. And, of course, if you'd like to contribute to the Reese on the Radio Rundown, purchase a T-shirt, please. Purchase a T-shirt. And then, of course, send that picture of you in one of our T-shirts to reasonoradio.com so we can also post it on the site. Just show your support. It's for me personally, to be honest with you, I've got to show the bigwigs that you folks are interested in me being here. If I'm going to be here, I at least have to show that, there's an interest in Reese on the Radio. So help a brother out. Yes, I said brother with a V. We'd appreciate it. Let's go to reasonoradio.com. That's reasonoradio.com. And I appreciate all of the kind words and all of the support people have been giving the show and the website as well. It's reasonoradio.com. So check it out while you're eating dinner. Hopefully spaghetti. By the way, if you're having spaghetti, give me a call. Let me know, if you're having meatballs or just spaghetti and sauce, whether or not you're using ragu, prego, or some homemade stuff. Maybe the organic stuff from Whole Foods. I don't know. Are you a spaghetti guy, Roland, at all? Do you do the spaghetti thing? You
Of course.
Okay, but you're on a diet, which, by the way, always freaks me out when men say that. Are you doing because diets are weird. I just don't think that diets are really for men. I think
It's not a diet. It's a lifestyle, my friend.
Oh, I apologize. Excuse me. I don't mean to offend.
It's just a lifestyle,
Just
man.
a lifestyle.
Health is wealth, as they say.
Are you allowed to eat meat by any chance?
Yeah, that's
okay.
what
You can eat. You can eat. Is it an Atkins diet or?
It's something like that.
Something like that. Okay, there's some carbs that are involved.
No. I'm not
No
eating
carbs.
any rice or pasta or anything like that. I get a cheat day on Saturday. Saturdays is I can eat whatever I want.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Sunday through Friday is all
Sunday through Friday, bread and water.
No bread, no rice, no veg. I mean, no pasta. Just
Really?
meat, fruits, vegetables, nuts.
That's insane. We got to get to the BPS Traffic Center because now I got to ask Mark. Mark Christopher, the BPS Traffic Center. So, Mark, are you? What's your deal with do you eat spaghetti like pasta, fettuccine, any of that weird stuff? You know,
of
the pasta
course.
stuff? Okay.
Oh, of course. Huge. I love spaghetti.
Did you grow up with spaghetti being on Wednesday, or am I the only one? Or am I making that up?
Oh, you're thinking about the Prince commercials with Anthony?
Yes,
in
Wednesday
the
is
north end of
spaghetti.
Boston.
Spaghetti Wednesday. Yes. Totally.
Oh, yeah.
We lived by that commercial. Wednesday was always spaghetti day because of that commercial. So I always felt like everyone I knew, was Wednesday was happening, we're going to have spaghetti. And my mom religiously had spaghetti. We were also poor, and it was the cheapest thing that she could buy.
Well,
but we
that's
always
true, too. Spaghetti and ramen noodles go a long way.
Who you telling? Who are you telling? Goodness gracious. Don't even get me started.
Unfortunately, all those carbohydrates turn to sugar, which turns into fat. So
exactly.
I don't
see. Roland knows. Roland knows the deal.
Let me explain
so if you're
something
gonna eat
to you.
spaghetti, eat it earlier in the day.
You know what? Eat it early in the day.
Earlier
like what?
in the day, yeah.
Oh, earlier. Like noon
for lunch instead of having it for dinner.
Oh, yeah, that's
'Cause
right.
At least
Doesn't
you'll
weigh
have time to burn off the some of the sugar.
Yeah, it's a good point. Now that I think about it, you're absolutely right. Yeah.
Oh,
Okay.
I know everything you should do. The question is,
I'm with you, buddy. I'm with
do
you.
I do it? No.
I just,
Not
you know
good.
what? As soon as I turned 50, I just immediately started going towards bread and pasta. I don't know why. It must have been the
'Cause
age.
It tastes great.
Oh, well,
why.
that's part of it. Yeah, that's indeed right.
That's no secret there. It
There you
tastes
go.
really good. Hey, if you're heading into Hartford right now, 91 southbound delays 33 down to 32 IND, and again 27 to 28. Northbound 91 moves very well. Cromwell through downtown up into Windsor. Westbound 84 tied up, approaching the Bulkley Bridge out to 45 Flatbush. 84 eastbound slowing a mile before 46 Sisson Avenue into the tunnel. Looks real good. 291 384 east of the river. 2 eastbound's a little slow coming off of I-84 out to exit 5C. 2 westbound slows exit 4 to the 84 west merge in East Hartford. 9 northbound, a brief slowdown both sides of 9 as you approach the Aragoni. 9 northbound in Berlin, slowing, getting by exit 32. If you're traveling 84 westbound into Waterbury, some slow traffic from 22 into the Mixmaster. 84 eastbound is a little sluggish from 17 up to exit 18. 84 eastbound Danbury slowing 3 to 5. Again, some slow traffic 10 to 11 in Newtown. Southbound Parkway delays 61 into the area of exit 60. And South 95 New Haven tight 46 down to 44. Traffic and weather together on the 8s. WTIC News Talk 1080.
WTIC weather.
All right, as we make our way through the evening and overnight tonight, we'll find partly cloudy skies. It'll be quite comfortable overnight as well, with the low down to 53, just a light and variable wind overnight as well. Now, Thursday, partly sunny, beautiful day, the high 76, great weather right into and through the weekend. Friday, watch for some areas of fog in the morning, otherwise partly sunny, pleasant again, the high right back to 76. Another pleasant day Saturday with with some clouds, then some sunshine, the high of 75. Sunday, mostly sunny, comfortable, but a little cooler, the high of 70. You want to take your umbrella Monday. It'll be cloudy much of the time with some showers, the high of 70. Tuesday, mostly sunny and cooler with the high dialed back to 62 on Tuesday. Right now, Waterbury 63, Granby at 70. It is 66 in Hartford. I'm meteorologist Jason Caterina in the WTIC Weather Center.
If you're experiencing low energy, brain fog, or bloating, then your body might need a detox. Active Liver from New Nordic makes it easy to detox your body all year long without major changes to your diet or lifestyle. Active Liver is available in stores at CVS or online at Amazon.
Suicide is something that affects all of us, and we can all play a part in saving lives. Make a difference in your community by walking out of the darkness with us on Sunday, October 20th 20th at Bushnell Park in Hartford. Help spread awareness as well as understanding and send the message that help is available. We'll also raise funds for the American Foundation for Suicide Prevention. You can register today at afsp.org/CT Capital Area, and then we'll see you in Bushnell Park on October 20th. WTIC News Talk 1080, a proud partner of the American Federation for Suicide Prevention. Out of the Darkness Walk.
Warning, the following ZipRecruiter radio spot you are about to hear is going to be filled with F words.
When you're hiring, we at ZipRecruiter know you can feel frustrated, forlorn even, like your efforts are futile, and you can spend a fortune trying to find fabulous people, only to get flooded with candidates who are just fine. Fortunately, ZipRecruiter figured out how to fix all of that. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. With ZipRecruiter, you can forget your frustrations because we find the right people for your roles fast, which is our absolute favorite F word. In fact, 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day.
Fantastic.
So, whether you need to hire 4, 40, or 400 people, get ready to meet first-rate talent. Just go to ZipRecruiter.com/radio to try ZipRecruiter for free. Don't forget, that's ZipRecruiter.com/radio. Finally, that's ZipRecruiter.com/radio.
California Psychics was great.
1 minute.
I got everything I can imagine from my reading.
At California Psychics, we only connect our customers with the best. In fact, we reject 98% of the psychics who apply to work with us. So we guarantee if your reading isn't life-changing, it's free.
She told me something about my love life that I needed to hear. I do feel better about my relationship from what she told me. I feel like I'm on the right path.
Right now, new customers receive 20 minutes for just $20, which means you could soon be taking a romantic stroll down the right path, too. Experience the joy of certainty at CaliforniaPsychics.com. Get $5 off with code RADIO5 when you download the app.
What's up, everybody?
You know who it is.
You know who it is. It's Reese on the Radio. Frederick Douglass of the 21st century.
It's WTIC News Talk 1080.
Oh my God! Oh my God! Oh my God! Oh my God! Okay. Although I love this beat, Roland, we got to take her down. 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 Folks, listen to me. I swear to God. 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 I cannot believe this, and I'm absolutely like. Okay. I have to calm down. I will take the phone calls in a second, but please hear me out. Okay. Exclusive. I'm working really, really hard, and I wouldn't be this excited if I didn't. But I may be able to get some behind-the-scenes info on the P. Diddy lawsuit of the audio that I played you earlier. It turns out that I may have an in on getting some info on this. If I can't get you names, I'm certain that I can at least get professions. Okay? So I'm working on it now. I just got off the phone like literally seconds before we got off the air. And we know that their names, but I'm not going to get, all I want to do is if they can't reveal names for legal reasons, I'm going to see if I could at least get, like, whether or not those people, like, if I could get innuendo, just is this person, that person, this person, that person kind of deal. Are they in this, we'll play 20 questions, Is it an animal, a vegetable, or one of those things? But I just got off the phone with somebody who knows somebody involved personally. So I'm going to work my magic and see if I can get that info for you. So stand by. I will let you know in the next coming days. I'm hoping I could at least get some sort of information by next week. So stand by. Okay. I'm only excited because the fact that I just realized that somebody knows somebody. It's a really, really big deal. So we'll see if we can get some inside information on this as well, because this is going to be. I need to find out whether or not this is as groundbreaking or as bombshell as people are making it out to be in the news. We'll know that in a second. Anyway, 860-522-WTIC. Stephen is in Elmwood. Hey, Stephen, you're on with Reese on the Radio.
Hello.
How we doing, sir?
All right. I watched the debate last night. Vance was okay. I mean, I was hoping he'd be a lot better. But I'd give him a good solid 7.5.
Oh, that's a good score. All things considering.
It's okay, but it's compared considering who he was going up against. I was expecting a lot better.
Did you really think? You said because he was going against. Did you expect Tim Walz to self-destruct, so to speak, in the debate?
I'm not sure, but I'm saying Vance. I thought would have really shown more presence, and I didn't see that. And I'm a big. Let me finish. And I'm a big Trump supporter. I voted for him in 2016, in 2020, 2024. I'll do it again, and I'm very worried. I mean, the bottom line is the Vance was selected. Face the facts. The facts are Vance was selected.
You're not making it. Wait, you're not making any sense to me. I know you think you make sense to yourself, but you're not making any sense to me. Okay.
Well, that's whatever.
No. Let me tell you why you're not making any sense to me. You're saying that you expected Vance to do more. Tell me what you mean by more. That's a platitude. What is more?
Considering the running mate, Miss Harris, if you will.
Okay.
I expected that whole side right there to dismantle itself and crumble. Okay, and make it a lot easier for Vance to really shine and look like a superstar.
Well, I think the intent for Vance was to come off measured, right? Because. But let's look at Tim Walz on this. First of all,
no, please. I have a couple things I want to say to you.
Well, I don't have that much time, so I'm just trying.
I don't either, so that's why I want to bring him up. Vance, you ever see Vance without facial hair?
No, I did. I saw it. In fact, I just mentioned it during the break. He looks like a big baby.
He looks like a high school junior.
He does. I know he does.
Now, the bottom line is this. The only reason Vance got selected is Trump could not select Haley or Rubio of Florida. Those two individuals would not be controllable like Vance is for Donald Trump, and that's what he needs, the same reason he picked Pence to begin with.
I think that's ridiculous.
No, it's true. And also,
no, I think it's ridiculous because your premise is off. Because the first thing you said was you don't even understand what premise means, obviously. Let me help you out. Stephen.
I called you.
Stephen, that's right. You're having an exchange of ideas, so get used to it.
No,
or you can hang up.
No, you hang
up.
How's that?
Oh, yeah, sure, no problem. Hang up on him. An exchange of ideas means that I get to talk. When you say that they're not controllable, you're setting the premise. You're telling me that you know what Donald Trump wants from his vice president. He can't control them. Why? Because you say Donald Trump needs to control them? How ridiculous are you? Now, all of a sudden, you know what the intent of Donald Trump? I know you support him, but you can't tell me that you know what Donald Trump is intending to do with a running mate. He can't control them. That's why you didn't pick the others. Hogwash. Your premise is off. Dave is in Windsor. How you doing, Dave?
Hey, what's up, Reese? Chill, man. You're always a common collective guy. You got to chill it, man.
I'm okay, man. I'm okay. But no, I don't. I just said good. The bullying nonsense was like, oh, I'm here. I'm calling. I'm talking to you. It's like,
I know,
whatever,
I know.
buddy.
But you're always the common collective.
Go ahead, sir. I'm sorry.
All right. Listen, I'm a huge caller to Todd Feinberg, but I couldn't be happier that you're the guy.
Oh, thank you, man.
I'm taking the spot, man. I've been listening to you ever since.
Ain't no damn huge caller to Todd.
I'm pretty pumped that you're here anyway. I hope you don't disappear.
I'm doing my best, man.
Take someone else's show, but that's okay. But your perspective on things are amazing, and your outlook.
Really?
Like all of it. Even the tunes you play are wicked good. I love it, man.
Oh, that I can't take credit for that when I give it. The guy who's vibing off me is Roland. He gets my vibe, and I'll admit it's weird. It's a weird sort of dynamic between the both of us, but he's figured it out, and I love it. That's why I'll never step on his toes. I will let him fly.
Roland Bolin, I call him now. Roland
Bolin, no doubt.
Hey, so anyways, I wanted to say on the debate, you're right. J.D. Vance, like, he kept his composure, and he was a gentleman, man. Like, he handled it better than I actually kind of figured he would. And to be honest with you, Waltz actually kind of did a little better than I thought he was going to. I thought he was going to collapse right away.
But even with that, before you go, let me just give you this, man. This is always going to hang over his head. And, I didn't expect it. Well, I expected the question to come, and I expected him to have a better answer. But just to give you some background, you remember the Tiananmen Square problem. This was really, really bad for him. And let me just play a little bit of it.
To Congress, sure that I get this right. I will say more than anything. Many times I will talk a lot. I will get caught up in the rhetoric. But being there, the impact it made, the difference it made in my life, I learned a lot about China. I hear the critiques of this. I would make the case that Donald Trump should have come on one of those trips with us. I guarantee you he wouldn't be praising Xi Jinping about COVID. And I guarantee you he wouldn't start a trade war that he ends up losing. So this is about trying to understand the world. It's about trying to do the best you can for your community. And then it's putting yourself out there and letting your folks understand what it is. My commitment, whether it be through teaching, which I was good at, or whether it was being a good soldier or was being a good member of Congress, those are the things that I think are the values that people care about.
Governor, just to follow up on that, the question was, can you explain the discrepancy?
All I said on this was I got there that summer and misspoke on this. So I will just, that's what I've said. So I was in Hong Kong and China during the democracy protests went in. And from that, I learned a lot of what needed to be in governance.
What a joke.
Yeah, it's just like, what do? You look at that, you just kind of go, the whole time, I thought I was watching a bad singer on, like, on American Idol or The Voice, like somebody with a horrible. You cringe. You cringe. You just go, ugh. Like, can we turn the channel? Can we turn the channel? Thank you, man. I appreciate you, Dave. Kevin.
All right, Reese. I'll talk to you soon, man. I'll be regular.
You got it, sir. I will do my best. Hey, Kevin is in Connecticut, my last but not least. How are you, Kevin?
I'm doing well. Man, I have not heard you so cranked up coming out of a break yet since you've been on the radio. You were fired up. You were hyperventilating. I mean, I didn't know if you did a flight of stairs or it was awesome.
My wife ran in with this bit of info, and I went, I'm like, this is one of the biggest stories of the year outside of the election, and I've got some insight into it, and I'm just like, oh, my God, I got to share that with the audience. So, yes, can I tell you real quick, Kevin, before I let you make your statement? Somebody said this to me. Do you remember when the plane went down, Sully Sullenberger, when it went down?
In the Hudson?
When that thing happened, I was rushing to the television. You had to pry me away with a crowbar from the TV when that happened. And a friend of mine looked at me and he says, "You're a chaos junkie." And I went, oh, my God, I think I am. I'm that way. I love events. I'm an event-oriented news host, and I kind of feed off that. It's just my energy, just drawn to it. No matter what the issue is, if it's some event, it may be sort of a post 9/11 kind of thing, but that sort of entered me into the fray, and I've always been that way. When events happen, I don't know. It's weird to say it, but I'm super excited to get the info.
I'm going to keep you excited. A couple things. One, Mrs. Reese was a combat
medic, yes.
Please thank her for her service on my freedom.
I definitely will.
Two, how funny is it that we have two black people on a Republican AM radio station and killing it?
Oh, thank you, man.
Awesome.
Yes.
And number three, hang on, before you have to change your hat size, I am leaning more towards your vision of saying that this election is meant not to happen for the Democratic Party. The optics that they've created has been baffling. Think about when Jill Biden was in the Situation Room or in the cabinet room and she was running the meeting.
Yep.
Why wouldn't they just put Kamala there and just show you, look what she's doing? Or why isn't she down in, not flying over the wreckage, but actually down where the boots are? I mean,
Kevin,
they've really muddied up the water.
Kevin, you listen to me. You get the applause of the day. You get the applause of the day. No, because I hadn't even thought of that. You're absolutely right. I have been saying it for the longest. If you really want this woman to look like a leader, you put her in a leadership role. Joe Biden's on the beach. But at the one moment that they had to put her in a leadership role, they put Jill there.
And if that doesn't put concrete in your evidence of saying that they don't really want her, because, yes, those photo ops would be priceless.
Yes.
And you wouldn't have to worry about another debate, but they didn't do it.
That's right.
You look deeper into all the other areas where they've kind of kept her away from the limelight.
Mm-hmm.
Something's up. Not saying that they're going to let Trump be president, because that's a whole different story, and we're not going to talk about that today. But from what I'm giving you the credit of saying, I'm starting to believe your theory that they do not care if she wins the election.
Yep. Thank you, man. I appreciate you. And I promise you, the head only grew an inch, just an inch.
It's worth it.
Thank you, buddy. Oh, God. I love it. The last but not least call is always great. It always is on the program. I totally appreciate that. I should applaud myself, but I don't have enough time. All right, folks, that's it. I promise you I will give you more information as I get it. Hopefully, I will get some insight into this P. Diddy scandal. But I'll let you know everything that I do know as soon as I can. As I always say, radio is free, so we thank you for paying attention. Remember to keep JC in your hearts and in your minds. Sean Patrick, we love you and we miss you. Remember that panic is not planning, so plan your work and work your plan. Me, I'm Reese on the Radio. You go to ReeseOnTheRadio.com, get a T-shirt. And he is Mark Christopher in the BPS Traffic Center. Mark, get a shirt too.
All right, Reese, thank you very much. Well, if you're heading into Hartford right now, southbound 91 delays 33 to 32.
Mark, like, whatever, dude.
28 in the Hartford Weather Shield line. Looks real good. 91 northbound Cromwell up into Windsor.
All right, buddy.
All right, man. Damn, Reese.
Don't say it.
Damn, man. Just getting started, man.
Yeah,
2 days.
I
man.
know. No, you
Case the
suck.
river. Marlboro 9.
All right, buddy. Tomorrow.
See you tomorrow.
Line to the Ariconi Bridge. Also 9 southbound in Haddam. We have an accident between exit 19 and 15. That's taking out the left lane, so there is a delay there. Also in Haddam, Route 81 is shut down at Brault Hill Road. A vehicle into a...
Okay, quiet is kept. My wife and my husband-in-law know one of the attorneys in the case. That's all I'm going to say. I'll fill you in more. No. If not tomorrow, if not Friday, by Monday, I'll have some info for you. Okay? Stay tuned. Stay tuned.